I'm talking about my Black Hawk, man.
Yeah, and the way you fucking shake, it probably only took you about 3 seconds to get that many rounds through the gun. You were recycling about 1,200 rounds a
Bob
second.
just needs a couple
man.
more ones and then his hands level out.
Bob can't help it if it's minus 30 where he's from.
Well, no, it's not cold in the indoor range, but yeah, that's just natural for me these days.
Couple of tallies and the hands start to even out.
Well, you got to remember like how many drugs I'm on. I'm on, all kinds of. Seriously.
That's not what I'm laughing at. I just clicked on that link.
Which link? Which one? San Antonio's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You shouldn't be proud of that picture, San Antonio.
God.
That's me and my wife.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
You see? And now that just like, it's really easy because she probably can't move, so just don't feed her. Don't bring her food, and she'll get thinned down.
You Canadians are used to using something like that for warmth. Who are you kidding?
Yeah.
No, we'd roll her outside, and then the polar bears could eat all winter, and we wouldn't have to worry about them eating our kids.
You don't have to let it kick it. You're already in the room.
There's sometimes it's that freaking cold and you're in a bar and you don't want to go home alone. You want to keep something with you.
There's never that time. I'm on
No.
That
That chick is the bar. Are you kidding me?
I've never been.
You need to keep warm.
Yeah, I've never been that cold.
Man, you know what, though? If she was tattooed, you'd have, like, shade in the summer and warmth and moving pictures all year round.
Hey, man, you ever been at a bar where you had one too many and some big chick starts, seducing you and you're so drunk you're helpless and they're just like, oh, come on, and they're like pulling you, leave me alone now, stop it.
We are getting a chapter from Edge's life right now.
Yep. Stop it, no, leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with his first wife.
This is rare insight into what makes Edge tick.
I would like to be the first to say, no, that's never happened.
Turns out it was his first wife, too.
It was rape.
Yeah, right.
No, that's how you ended up with your first wife and your second wife. So.
And all my wives.
After she had him pinned down, he couldn't get up, eh?
Well, I saw this one was in Law and Order where the chick fucking smothered a dude and they're having sex. That was the episode was about, and she was embarrassed about it, so she's willing to take the rap that she killed him because she's too embarrassed to say that she actually smothered him to death when they were having sex. Yeah.
That's illegal in England now. They're like a bunch of people are putting up, what do they call that? They're getting all together and protesting it and doing all that because face sitting's illegal in England.
That is ridiculous.
They made that and a bunch of other stuff illegal.
Like, what the hell?
They are quite
wrong with
prudish
them?
over there.
And yet, if you've ever dated an English woman, they are so dirty and nasty. They'll do anything. Maybe it's just with Canadians. I don't know.
Well, that just killed the fucking chat right when it started.
And on that note...
Yeah. And on that note, hey, do you want to hear my opinion of French girls?
How about those Russian ARs?
I think Family Guy has summed it up best with British sex. If you've never seen those episodes, well, I won't explain it. But.
With the guy with the teeth?
Well,
It looked like a Bucky the Beaver. That was Captain Canada's sidekick. He was like a child had been raised by beavers. So he was very industrious. I'm not shitting you, man. That's the kind of comic books I grew up with. And Captain America and Sergeant Fury and,
Rare and unwanted insight into Bob's life now.
Nobody else is talking. At least mine wasn't about doing dirty fat girls.
I don't think anybody was talking about that.
Not on air.
Not on there. Say about Brian Williams getting hit by an RPG, and now he's an American hero.
Yeah.
Brian Williams
I get shot down by an RPG.
Didn't actually get hit by the RPG. And it happened to be the helicopter in front of him that got hit, but gee whiz, in his mind it was like, oh, I almost died.
At least he can speak proper fucking English like Tom Brokaw on news. Blah, 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 blah. And he fucking always won his voice out.
It's because he's
With the
drinking.
no accent.
Yeah. Look at all the Canadian newscasters.
Bob just cracks me nuts when he fucking commentary.
They were no accent, you know. They were just like
Yeah, they
English
sound like
could be
Americans.
understood by everyone from Tennessee to Florida.
I didn't know Canadians had TVs.
I say, Bob, why do all those Canucks come down here, Bob, to become
Well, you
famous?
know, I didn't have a TV. We didn't have TV until I was like 8 years old, because there was no. We were in a valley and TV signals couldn't get to us.
You're fucking Neanderthal. Lived in the Iceman ages.
No, it was just like we didn't have TV. My family actually had a TV because they'd moved from Winnipeg, which you could get TVs. So they had a TV in the living room that couldn't get any signals. What's pretty funny.
Your TV dinners in the 80s are nasty as shit.
TVs are fun to shoot. Like you get the old tube style TVs. Of course, they're pretty much all gone now, but man, they're hilarious. Like
Hey,
they just
Bob.
explode.
Bob, did you notice
Yeah.
nobody laughed?
When?
That means it's not funny. Just to clear that up for you.
What wasn't funny?
Bob's laughing.
Yeah.
That
That's
wasn't
Bob
me.
laughing.
God, now people are imitating me. Well, I guess that's a form of.
keep telling yourself that.
It's a form of mockery. Yes, you're correct.
You know what? Fuck y'all.
You guys leave Bob alone. He's an old man.
Yeah. And the horse you rode in on.
Many days he has.
Bob, we don't ride horses anymore. There's cars for that.
Oh, I'm gonna be riding horses again pretty soon. It's gonna be great.
Explosion. Fire rocket Eastern. It was a chemical plant that blew up yesterday, guys. I've been
Oh,
asleep
was it
all
nuke?
day, so if anybody saw this, you got to excuse me. I just woke up like an hour ago.
Oh, yeah. People were saying, "Oh, it's a nuke. It's a nuke." No, it's not.
Well, hopefully some dumbass was with their daughter filming it like 100 yards away like last time. Daddy, I can't hear. Daddy, can you hear me? That one that happened in West Texas.
Oh yeah.
Why she got deafened?
The fucking whole plant blew up, man. One gigantic bomb went off. Ammonia nitrate that they had storing there. And they were like 100 yards away from it, filming it from the edge of the road. And then blew that little girl's ears off.
Yep. Well, that's where you'd be telling your kids, put your hands over your ears, you know?
It's no joke. I don't even know why they'd have a plant like that here in Texas.
You gotta make fertilizer somewhere.
Yeah, let's make it in one of the hottest states.
Canada.
Well, you know what? You get really good revenue though. You're getting tax revenue, so and it's less shipping to get it to the farmers. So, yeah, I mean they made fertilizer in almost every Midland-sized town in Canada. It was just cheaper than shipping it.
Well, it could have just been like that explosion last night in Ukraine.
I think it was.
I want to know, Bob, can you support a bill in Canada that restricts Canadians from coming to the States and becoming famous?
Nope.
You can have Justin Bieber back and Jim
Nope.
Carrey.
Nope. We don't want them back.
You can have them.
What's her name? The French girl that sings in
April
a skinny
Lavigne,
hell.
other more bands that come here.
She's about to be a widow though. So I mean, hey, oh wait a minute, you know she's about the same age as me. She got money.
April Lavigne.
Island, get the 23-inch. Island's asking will anybody shoot a 16-inch 54R Vapor or get a 23. Get the 23.
Oh, 20 inches, all right.
Well, they don't come in 20-inch unless you cut it. You get the 23 or you get the 16. Get the 23.
Yeah, you get the 23, then you can always cut that down and recrown it.
That's a lot of blast coming out of 16 with 54R.
Yeah, I was at the gun show this past weekend. I went to one of the Saxit, and they had two K31s as one dealer, and he wanted $325 for each one. One of them was in really great shape, but the Beechwood one he had was immaculate, man. The fucking stock was like it had never been issued or something.
Why'd you buy it?
I wanted to jump on it, man, but I don't got cash. I was just kind of there making my rounds, talking to people. I just didn't have bucks to jump on it. I mean, I can't go any further into debt. I already am, you know. That was just, I mean, trust me, I was talking myself into it a bunch of times. I'm like, God damn. It was the immaculate beechwood stock, and there was like next to nothing of little dings on it or anything. And I was just like, wow. And 325 isn't a bad price.
No, what year was it? You know.
That one I couldn't tell because I didn't. I mean, I think the other one definitely walnut. I can tell it's post 46 because they 46 when they stopped making the walnuts. They went to beechwood, but the beechwood one, I didn't know. The only way I know how to do is to check it outside of having a serial number reference is to pop the back plate off and see the stamp on the back of the stock.
Yeah. Have you seen this guy's channel? He does some really insane shooting with a K31. Oh, a bunch of different rifles, but if you ever have a second, it's
Yeah, 2,200 yards.
I'm sub to him. Is that the guy that's doing 1,000-yard shots with it?
yeah,
2,000 yards.
1,000
Well,
and beyond.
Yeah, he's with
Oh, yeah,
open.
he's in
But
open
he
sight.
can't even see the target. He's just kind of figuring it out on the fly and
Yeah,
making adjustments.
He's got a spotter. They can kind of see it, but he's got a spotter, helping him.
Yeah, it's just a dude named
I will say, 2 inches higher, or
Jimenez.
higher.
What round are they shooting the K31s?
7.5 by 55 Swiss.
Yeah.
It's a decent round. It's kind of like a 30-06.
It's a 308 projectile with different cartridge configuration.
I'd say
Even
it's
then,
a 308 than a 30-06, but
yeah,
it's
it's kind of.
It's a hell of a drop.
30-06, but it's.
It's a 308 cartridge for sure. Because if you're gonna reload, that's what you have to get is 308 projectiles for it.
Yeah.
it's a massively accurate rifle, so it's not even like, I mean, you're not even really giving that rifle a hard time by shooting that far.
Oh no, the rifle. Well,
one of
any
the best
rifle will
ones.
actually put a bullet out that far. At least any major caliber.
You just got to arc it up. You just got to have that drop.
I recently got a Mosin, my son got one, and there's what, like freaking 17 million made, I forget what the number is of those arms, and those are fun, great rifles too. But there's only like 500,000 made, and so they're starting to dry up, and that's why I wanted to jump on that 325. He wasn't asking the world for it. I bought mine for 250 at that same gun show in 2012, but 325 was a fair price. That's what they're asking. I think at Classic Arms has a good stash of them right now, and they're at 320.
Edge, would you trade me your K31 for my SVT40?
There's a bunch of them that just came in.
No,
Really?
because one, I can't make the trade.
Because you wouldn't.
Well, no, I can bring it down there. And they don't look to see whether I brought it back. I checked it out. No, really, if it's kids.
Yeah, but then when he gets pulled over from the range and they ask him why he's got this,
And then when the ATF looks at this fucking video, and Bob's like, blah, 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 blah.
It's cool, dude.
I said I'm kidding.
when
Gosh,
DB
guys,
when
I'm
DB
kidding.
gets in here and DB tells his buddies,
Yeah.
It's a joke.
And he's like, I got this 6-pack to buy for Bob. Said I give this to you when I get caught, and you're supposed to make it all good now.
There's a whole new batch of K31s I think just came in the country, but they all got freaking import stamped right on the side of the receiver, like I don't know, or on the side of the scope base basically, and it's like hideous, you know what I mean? Like
That's what that dude was saying at the gun show. He was saying that the new ones that are coming in are double stamped, triple stamped on the receiver. Mine has one. I think it's on the sight area.
mine's on the barrel, underneath the barrel. You can't even see it, like unless you look.
But he was saying, yeah, some of these new ones are overstamped. Sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. They're putting that Century Arm stamp.
panic buy. Webbed.
Yeah.
So are these? Sounds like I need to have this gun. Were you at the Saxon gun show? Edge?
Yeah, I try to make it out there. There's a couple people I always see. I don't know if you're familiar with Mayor Flugly Cool. He has a channel, a pretty good channel, and he has a little booth where he cleans his guns there. People drop out their guns, they buy them, and he does it. He cleans them for like $10 a pop. And I always come by and see him and a couple other vendors like to talk to, just see what's going on.
I haven't been out there. I'm actually moving out to Live Oak, so that's a nice little drive for me versus being out in the north medical center I was before. So.
When they stop doing the live oak, the Doom and live oak, when they start alternating them, they used to do it live oak in there and live oak in there.
Well, they ripped down the Civic Center.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's a Burger King right now.
You
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
it all here first. Bob is into bears, and by bears we mean big, giant gay dudes in flannel with beards.
Russian men that are
And
shaved.
chaps.
Oh yeah, you know,
Chaps in a leather hat.
Bob likes it rough. He just put it in the side chat.
They used to have the gun show at the live oak. I can't stand live oak because the cops are pricks. They're fucking farting on the road without permission, and I go to that one every now and I go to they'll have one at the Shriner place, had a little one there, and then they have, for a while they're doing this new one over at this ranch area that caters to events, not too far from my house.
Yeah, the Saxon's the best one around. I've never been to the Shriner one though, but I used to go to the Saxon all the time.
Do you have to drive a little tiny car around the gun show?
No, what is it? It used to be like an old something, another business. It's pretty big.
He's talking about the Shriner. No, they just have that big facility that they have there. It's not as large. Like that place that they have the new or the Saxon gun show at, it's like an old builder's square that they gutted. And it's pretty damn big.
Can't trust Shriners, man. They ride them funny Harleys and drive those little Mustangs. Oh, those people are just creepy and they wear those weird hats.
With operations and donate money all the time. All good kind of,
We just figure out who can outcreep Bob.
Actually, I just kind of thought Bob told us he was a Shriner in some covert way. Little cars, creepy hats.
Yeah. Bob,
me.
were you Illuminati?
You ought to see my cars. None of them are little.
33 degree Mason.
Bilderberger.
Hey, Canada invented the Masons, and in Canada it's 34 degrees.
Bob got kicked out of Bilderberger fucking convention or a conference once because he stuck his hand up Hillary Clinton's skirt.
I did not.
He didn't like what he found. It's not a Sheila.
It was Chelsea's.
Bob likes Grizzlies.
God, no.
She had braces down there too.
Oh my God.
You're the freaking owner of this chat.
Yeah.
You just wait.
This is the first chat I've ever joined in from the start. I'm going to be sure never to do that again. I'm going to see how it goes first.
Nobody else is willing to run one, and I would hate doing back-to-backs, but
Is anyone watching for it?
Bob likes Grizzlies. It's scary.
Everybody's preaching M-Lock.
Anyone watching the chat, or is it just like?
Yeah, I'm watching it. They're having
Well, not you.
Guru's being the preacher, M-Lock preacher, and everybody's bashing Key Mod, and
Oh.
Webbs is saying to go ahead and panic buy K31s.
Yes,
Yeah,
panic
we
buy.
had 'em.
I'd like
I
to
really-
own 2 more in my collection down the road. I can definitely see myself buying 1 or 2 more.
There's actually a Canadian rifle that's.
Can you
like-
buy that ammo?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you can still get it. It's not cheap like
50
you know,
cents a round.
yeah. I mean, it's not cheap like a 7.62 by 54R, but
It's all
it's
match grade.
yeah, it's all match grade. It's the best. And the ammunition is even pretty. It's fucking beautiful. It's 30 years old. The last batch I bought was 79. I heard the latest ones that are pulling are like 82, 83 when they're pulling when they were made. And it's just pretty ammo on top of it being match grade through a awesome barrel. When you compare that rifle to any other surplus rifles, a lot of other ones, it sticks out.
It's got a really great trigger.
Oh yeah, 2-stage, awesome trigger, like almost like maybe a little under 3 pounds, around 3 pounds.
Around 3 pounds.
Looks like I'm gonna have to buy one.
The only surplus gun I have with a trigger that good is my M39, and that's it. Like every other one is just what you'd expect. Even the nice ones I have, like my Swedish Mausers,
Mm.
they have a shit trigger and terrible sights, but they're beautifully made.
You never heard of Timony ever trying to even think about making a trigger for the K31.
No point.
Nope.
Huh. I'm not much into surplus. I'll have to make that my first surplus then.
Somebody's and somebody I heard rumors somebody's making a 10-round magazine for it. And stripper clips. I think I have to. Don't quote me on this. I have to actually test it, but I think stripper clips from Swedish Mauser will work in it too.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they're expensive. If you get authentic ones, they want like somewhat a 20 upwards of that a pop. They're
They
not
don't.
cheap.
They don't last. They fall apart eventually because they're made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the thing about the magazine for the K31, people that don't know, it's serialized to the rifle. If you get an all matching rifle, so the serial numbers matches all the components in the rifles. That's why you don't see many. Well, you see the magazines for sale, but they're expensive. They're $100. I've seen them from $60 to about $100 for a magazine, an authentic one.
Keep Shooting was selling them for $40 a piece, and I regret not buying a few when I had a chance. But you can top load that thing easy, and stripper clips work fine. But like I said, somebody's coming. I've heard a rumor somebody's making a 10-round detachable magazine for that weapon.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is I got that SVT-40, which is basically the same kind of gun except it's semi-auto. It does have 10-round magazines, but you guys are complaining about paying $25 for a magazine. Magazines for this thing are $80 a pop.
It's the same kind of rifle except it's bolt action and straight pull.
Well, and very, very fast firing, right? But it's basically the same the same time period and everything. I think the
it started with the
SVT-40 was probably
K11
earlier.
Yeah, it started the Swiss rifle started earlier.
You think?
Yeah, I know. I don't think.
Okay.
It started in 18. I can't remember when the first model came out, and they kept
Of the straight pull bolt?
Yep.
Looks better than it looks like it's a nicer rifle than a Nagant by far. I'm sitting here looking at them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. They're very much a lot better than Nagants. I mean, Nagants, I got one of them. They're like just crap, really. I mean, they work, but.
And I'm not bashing most Nagants. Anybody who's in the chat has just fucking had a heart attack.
No, I'm not actually. I mean, they are what they are, which is a mass produced. I got a 1934, so with the hex, and it's like I say, it's okay. I prefer the SVT-40. It shoots better.
Some of these got nice wood. Some of these got real nice wood on them.
Well, thank you.
Stop feeling them up.
Alrighty, that's kind of scary.
No, I'm looking at one that looks like it's got like a flame maple on it right now. Like it looks like they're all in.
Okay.
And you said these come in birch, or what else do they come in?
Walnut. Like old school European walnut.
Actually, Forgotten Weapons did a Swiss K31 in a 2-gun action challenge match.
So Iraqi veteran has got about 1 million videos. I think the K31 is his favorite rifle. Literally, I'm not even kidding. Like.
Oh yeah, I've seen him run strings of rounds that were as fast as anybody with the semi-auto.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is the first surplus gun I've ever wanted.
I want to ask you this. My K31, the stock on it has this kind of dry feel to it. It's at least the condition of the stock. It's in good shape, but it just has this dry kind of feel to it. It's I don't know. It's kind of dry. So that being said, what do you recommend to put on there?
Seed oil.
Yeah.
I'll put something in the side chat for you. I have to find it. I think it's called. Hold on, let me find it. I don't want to say the wrong name. Give me a second.
So there's no household products you're gonna want to put on that. Like my kid's little Ruger Ruger 1022 one time. It's kind of looking like that, and I was bored, and I fucking had some Old English at the time, and just put a little dab on it, and gave it a little bit of color compared to what I had before.
You don't
I'm
want
not gonna use it with that.
That's that linseed oil.
Well, alright, hold on a second. I'm trying to find.
Astroglide.
Yeah, there you go.
It
Got Bob to like that joke.
was funny.
Waiting all night for the Astroglide joke.
Bob's more of an anal ease kind of shit.
Anal ease.
How do I know that? Shit.
I don't know. That's why I always try to have a female doctor because their fingers are much smaller when they got to stick them up there.
Oh Jesus!
What?
God damn.
Whoa!
When you
Just
get
when
your
you get to
prostate,
Bob's age,
Whoa!
prostate exams are a
ever
common
had a
thing.
prostate
I'm
exam?
not gonna be living that long. I put enough chemicals through my body to kill a mule times 10. Back in my day.
So that first link, it's called Tom's 1/3 mix or 1 in 3 mix or whatever you want to call it. And this guy, the guy that makes it, when I first started buying it, I swear to God, it came in a dip can. Like this is like this dude's little like thing he's got going on. Like I don't know if he's got a shop or he's running out of his garage or what. This dude is really cool. Like he sends like well last time I got like a thank you. I bought some off eBay and he's like a little note inside saying thanks for buying my product. If you have any questions, please email me at. It's like well that's pretty cool.
Did he
But
include any pictures of himself?
it's 1/3 I think turpentine, 1/3 beeswax, and 1/3 something else, maybe tongue oil or something. And
You combine the products. They're binary.
Well, he's here in Texas, dude. He's in Pearland.
I don't know if he's got a website. I usually just bought his stuff off eBay.
Pearland?
But
Nick, say it.
I put it on and I'll hit the stock a little bit of heat from like my blow. You know, I use like a blow dryer or something.
Blow dryer.
I'm
It's
just
just funny to think of a guy having a blow dryer instead of a heat gun.
well, if you have a heat gun, then you'll melt your fucking wood on your stock or plastic on a weapon that has like polymers in it. So I don't want to like melt my fucking shit, Bob. I don't need to take $1,000 rifle and melt the finish off the stock.
Oh please.
Man,
That
that's
looks
crazy. Every time I go to
Bob-
Houston, that's one of the places
Bob-
I go is
Bob
Pearland.
should be seen and
Interesting.
not heard, all right? Or maybe not even seen. I don't even know.
Well, Bob, you don't know. He could have long hair, and he likes to tease it too. But that's his business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If he's really into that, that's cool. But you know, I still think he should just buy himself a heat gun. They've got different heat
that joke
settings.
there, Bob. Keep trying to save it.
Hold them back from the gun. You don't have to put them right up on the gun.
All right, yeah, keep trying to save it. Anyway, it doesn't need very much heat at all, and you just get it like warmed up, and then like it works like better than anything I've ever used. Like
Appreciate that. I'll check it out for sure.
I've had some
That's-
stocks that like were effed. I thought they were fucked, you know, like, and I hit them up with this shit, and it brought them back to life.
Yeah, I just use linseed oil to recondition the stock, so I mean it works great. I mean you're just adding oils back into the wood.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
also wax though, so it really
Yeah, there's more protectorant going on with that. You showed me that stuff before, Chris. That stuff looks awesome. I kind of wish I had a gun with some wood on it. I'd already have some of that shit.
it smells good too. That's the other thing. God, Bob, I seriously.
I'm kidding, man. It's just I like to take care of my guns too, but you know.
No, I'm just laughing I'm just commenting on you laughing every time somebody says wood.
Oh God, no, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, you were.
Well, then you got interesting timing, Bob. If you weren't doing that on purpose, you got really interesting timing. That shit's comedy
That's
gold
a funny
right there.
laugh, man. That's
So
So are these K31s pretty expensive or what?
You
No.
can find I mean, like I said, 320 is a good deal for one right now. I was surprised at the time when I got that one from that guy because mine's in pretty good shape. I'd say about 75-80% definitely. My stock's not beat to hell. Like a lot of them, you'll find the very bottom of the stocks will be kicked in quite a bit from being locked in the snow, and they just kick them out with the tapes. So, I mean. I think if you shop around long enough, you might find one in the 300, maybe the 3. I wouldn't pay more than 350 right now for one in decent condition. But there's some people that are proud and they want 450 for their gun.
And
Well, I'm not worried about
they're on
food.
sale right now at AIM Surplus. If you want me to put a link out there.
But those, I'll warn you, those are the cheapest, but they're also the ones with a big fucked off import mark down the
No,
side.
I want a nice one. I want a nice one. I
Okay.
don't care if it's
Now that's with this, like before, I would have said just go for it, like don't even worry. But now with this latest batch they imported with these effed up import marks all over them, I would be careful what you get. You might want to even like you want to make sure. When last time we talked about this, I was just go to Gunbroker, because at least on Gunbroker you can see what you're getting.
Yeah, the other thing is most of them don't come. Some do come with the original shoulder strap, or the original strap from it. Some come with reproductions, and then if you want, I've never seen anybody sell one complete with the bayonet, the scabbard, and the cover, the muzzle cover, and everything. You usually get them without that stuff, because the bayonets alone are about $100 on the average, on the cheap. You can see them by $100.
AIM's got them for cheap right now.
Really?
Yeah, they got the bayonets, the original. They got everything right now for cheap. They must have got a huge batch of shit in, because
Says they got some beechwood and some walnut.
This guy wants $435 for his. See, I don't know what I'm looking for over here. I'm looking at Gunbroker. He says it's beautiful, but this is pretty dinged up.
I got turned on to him by Iraq veteran when he was, always commenting on them and doing the videos on them. And when I was looking at them back then in 2011-ish, they were going for about 400 to 450 back then. That's why I was surprised. I was looking on Gunbroker when I saw mine, and I was able to pick it up for about 245. I think 240 walking out the door at the Saxit.
All matching numbers, is that pretty rare?
That's the normal. You'd want to get all matching unless somebody cannibalized one and puts it all back together.
There's only like 3, if I remember. I could be off. I think there's 3 serialized parts, and the magazine's the only thing you'll see get mismatched, because the other 2 are like the barrel and the receiver, and those rarely come apart,
The bolt, the barrel, the stock, and the magazine are all serialized. That's that old trick. They say, how do you know if it's in proper battery? Is you'll see the serial sticking straight up on the bolt. It'll be straight up, because there's some people who short shuck it when they pull it back and throw it back in. It's a straight pull bolt action, and some people will short change it and they won't get that lockup, and you'll see the serial numbers off to the left a little bit. It has to be straight up. That's how you know that you have proper alignment for it's in battery.
Hey, Chris?
Yeah, I'm typing.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I can just I'll tell you. We used to just we'd have separate. We just have separate. We just stuff them in there, and but we had the good the good military grade ones that wouldn't burst, and so what we did was we would have a camelback separate, and we just strap it through the straps on the top.
Right.
And, that way you could remove it, and when you put your rucksack down, all your water doesn't go with your rucksack. You know what I mean?
Right. I had assumed that there was a little hole through the top for the feed tube, but there isn't.
You can always, unless you have a really giant rucksack, the tube's usually long enough to snake around the top. It's hard for me to
It just because on the inside it's basically a giant bag with no place to fit it. Putting a bladder alone in there, it's just gonna.
You have MOLLE attachment on the side.
Yeah, on the side and the back, and the top.
You can always buy these there's bladder holders that are meant for the back of plate carriers and whatnot. You can just get one of those on each side.
Yeah.
And then and they make them. I'm sure somebody like Blue Force Gear or somebody probably makes a really nice lightweight one that's durable. That way you could have 2 bladders on each side. Like I said, we would. That's basically how we carried our water, was on the outside attached to it, and maybe a camelback through the top, so that we could take the camelback with us when we ditched our rucksacks or our assault packs or whatever.
When I was looking at the system, you've got all the add-ons to it, like the assault pack, and then those 2 little packs that go on the left and the right side, and then there's another attachment one, I think, that goes towards the bottom. You can get, but I didn't see anything that in regards to water or hydration.
I'll look for one of those hydration pockets like I was talking about. Give me
Yeah,
some.
that would be great, because I'd prefer to put it on the inside, because this thing has more room than I will ever use.
Like I said, don't even if you put if you have a really lightweight camelback, just like the little all it is basically just straps that strap in a pocket to put the bladder in. I mean, just you can, if it's lightweight, just stuff the whole thing in there. And have it towards the top, or like we would do, like I said, we would strap it through the top straps so that we could remove it and have water with us no matter what.
Right, because I'm afraid, if it's not designed to be attached to it, that it's just gravity's going to have it work its way towards the bottom of the pack.
Well, that's why we put it at the top, on top of everything, because we also carried very full packs, so water isn't going to make its way down through a bunch of stuff.
Right.
In a big old bladder.
I don't have the physical ability to carry the weight that this thing is capable of holding. The only reason I got it that size is because it was at the right price.
Yeah, well, if there's no pocket on the inside, then you have to make something work, because
Right. I was just surprised. I thought they all had a sleeve.
No, it depends.
And this is the newer one with the plastic frame, not the.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's generically called the Molly 2 ACU large rucksack.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got one of those too. I mean, yeah, they're way bigger than what I want to carry.
Oh yeah, but for $69, because it has a frame in it, I can't buy one with a frame for less than $100.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the frame makes it so much easier to carry.
And so that's the only reason that I got it, something too big for me, is because I just won't use that extra space. I don't want stuff, literally water floating around inside.
That's why we would have the water in its own, we'd have the water on the outside usually in whatever kind of carrier we're using, whether it's a 2-quart canteen or
was the bladder carrier something issued, or was it something that you guys just kind of got on your own?
A little bit of both. But most of the stuff.
I'm not seeing anything mil spec wise.
Get a Geiger bag, and it'll be the last bag you ever need.
Yeah,
I used 2 camelbacks and then 2-quart canteens, and there was a time period where I was using also 2 1-quart canteens. I think they're 1 quart.
Yeah.
And the camelback was usually strapped through the top of the straps on the top of the rucksack. That way I could remove it when I ditched the ruck. Everything was separate, so I could okay, this is where we're ditching the ruck. All right, now take your assault back and your camelback. All right, this is where we're ditching the assault packs. Now grab your camelback and let's go.
Right.
So you don't have all your eggs are in one basket.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Osprey optics.
I mean, you're talking about in the desert too, whereas Dano, it might be if he's got a bug out, he's in
Well, yeah, I'm only looking for one hydration system rather than multiple.
Yeah.
If you get I don't know how they say it, Geiger rig or something like that, the destruction test of those things, they're by far the only bladder you'll ever need.
Also, if you have only, I'll warn you about this, if you have only one system you're carrying all your water in, you get a hole, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean is other than a canteen.
Oh yeah, I understand. I highly recommend having Camelback by far, for sure.
I mean, bladder's a good thing to have, and you're absolutely right. But you don't want to put your most crucial item to only go one deep, and have no backup.
I mean, even I carry a stainless steel water bottle, like about a 2-quart water bottle in my pack, and I carry an aluminum canteen, like a World War II style canteen with a canteen cup. I carry that as well. And then, sometimes I'll also just stick a couple of water bottles in my pockets.
So, Chris, let me try one more thing. Can you think of anything that would represent, not necessarily that exact make or model, but a URL that you can point me to as to what you're talking about?
I'm looking for something. I honestly I have not gone through this kind of stuff in a long time, so I'm having to like try to retrace the steps I took a long time ago.
Well,
So.
you want to hear what was funny is before the pack that I have now, there was of course the external metal frame pack, and then before that there was the rucksack that was a duffel bag, and that's the one that I had when I was in the service.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm like 4 generations back as far as packs. So
I was in the switch from the Alice to the Molly, so I was part of. I got to experience Alice and all its awesomeness.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like the duffel bag, I had one of those as a kid just because it was surplus or something.
You were born in one?
But I used it as a backpack for camping. I mean, it worked fine for me. I was a kid, and it was stuffed full of clothes and some
If you've
shit.
got a strong back, you know, it will carry a shitload of stuff, but it's one giant sack.
Yep. And then when I got older, I had a goalie bag, and that was my luggage if I ever had to move anywhere, because I could put fucking near everything in it.
Dano, check that link out to the side, watch that, and see if even Camelback can do that. I have Camelbacks. I don't have one of these. This is the next thing I'm getting right here.
Okay, so the last call that we did.
Here's a link to a company that I know. This company used to be up next to Fort Lewis, where I was stationed, and a pretty good company. I remember we used to go get stuff from them all the time.
Oh yeah, in fact, I remember buying. I forget what it was. I bought something from them about a year ago.
Their stuff is a little on the heavy
Expensive.
side. No, I wouldn't say expensive. It's just a little heavy. They don't, they're not making this shit like with and you can see they got NSN numbers, so obviously these stuff's used by the military.
Oh, tactical tailor, yeah. They're pretty.
Another thing that I was really surprised that came in this pack at the bottom of it were some of the DoD forms, like the issue, release, and receipt documents.
Oh yeah.
Has the various material handlers' names. Even has their phone number, their fax number. These guys' names on there.
I think this thing is cool, just because you can like stuff whatever you want. I bet this thing could hold a couple magazines too. I wouldn't wear it on my gear, maybe on my rucksack, but not on my body. I just like the fact that it's multi-purpose. But yeah, no, they have a hydration carrier module. They have like all kinds of stuff. Personally, I would just, like I said, I would just find like maybe one of these, strap it on the side, and then find like some kind of just normal carrier that's got like arm loops, and just strap that across the top.
AARP discount.
Have you guys ever heard of Osprey Optics?
Not I.
I've heard of it, but that's it.
Do you have experience with them?
I mean, I know the name, and that's the extent of my knowledge.
I saw them at the gun show, and it's also pretty neat stuff. They had one for the AR that's pretty interesting. It was about right under the $300 mark. But see if anybody had any bad experience with them.
Extra $100, you can get a loopy with a illuminated reticle and all that.
That's what it has. It has all that business in it already. And all this kind of cool stuff. Lifetime warranty. I was looking at them. I was like, wow. Looked interesting. Just want to get somebody's opinion.
I'm looking at scope now. I'm trying to find one. I got to get a car first, so that's my big deal. I'm getting a new vehicle here shortly, but I'm going to finish this AR build and put a 1 to 4 on it.
Very good, man. Just walk on to go to the gun show in the VIA. Walk on with 3 guns.
Yeah, I ain't driving that. I've never ridden a VIA a day in my life, except to go to a Spurs game one time. The park and drive or whatever they call that.
Is Tactical Six String is he out of Vermont or New Hampshire?
I think New Hampshire, isn't he?
New Hampshire.
Please come Jersey.
Well, we're just looking at these papers from where this backpack came from, and it's out of Colchester, Vermont, the National Guard Armory.
He's not in Vermont.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not Chinese either. I don't know who said that, but
What?
This is a military surplus pack, Bob.
Those
okay.
Chinese.
No, somebody said Six String was Chinese, and I'm like, no, he's not.
Who the fuck said that, Bob?
I don't know.
I'm hearing shit.
I just heard someone say it. I'm just like,
Bob, you need to clear the shit out of your ears because you're just making stuff up.
No, I'm not. Somebody said Six String. Oh, it's a Chinese guy, and I went, what? No, and I said no. I
Bob,
think you guys are just screwing.
you either need to double up on your medication or cut it in half, and I can't tell which right now.
You know what? You guys got to just quit screwing with me because you're gonna,
We really didn't
convince
say
me,
that.
oh my God, I must have
Go
taken
back.
my meds wrong. I better
Go
take some
back.
more.
No, I'm telling you, go back and listen to the chat. Like, I really don't think that anybody said he's Chinese.
Nope.
No, I heard it distinctly. It was probably Dano under his breath, If I got really good hearing.
God.
Well, Dano is kind of old school.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Aren't you and Dan about the same age?
Yeah.
We're 5 years apart. He's older.
Yeah, I'm retired.
Oh, and Dano, you bought that backpack because you were so jealous of my backpack?
No, I bought it because it was
My
$65.
I need to get a new bag because, well, it's a long story, but I was looking at the new the Marine packs they got out, but they look heavy as hell.
Mm.
The new Marine surplus they got going out.
Well, I packed my pack up and went and walked around the neighborhood walked the dog with my pack on, and it sucked. Like just my bug out bag because I haven't actually done my Molly bag with the frame and everything. I've just got this canvas, like a fairly big canvas backpack, and decent quality, but no frame. Oh my God, that don't work.
I use my military surplus canvas backpack for my range bag.
This is
I actually have a wheeler that I'm gonna put my ammo boxes and stuff on, and
put a
probably
link in
my
the internal
guns.
to the one that I ended up just getting today.
Tactical Six Strings Chinese.
Okay, now
They
somebody's
sell
doing-
those at Fleet Farm.
Oh yeah, that's nice. E-tool canteen pouch. Yeah, I got one of the I don't know, it must be World War II or after, shortly afterwards, and they're nice. I mean, they work good. I like the canteen cup. I just think it's really cool for making coffee and tea and.
Kahlua with the coffee in the morning.
Nope.
I got a little stainless Nalgene bottle I use.
Yeah, I got like one of those in the pockets that's like nice stainless steel, because you can use them to boil water with too. Eh?
I got one of the canteen with a little metal cup, whatever the material it is.
Yep.
Made out of, and that's what I use. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the thing is, I've got like two options, and I've got this stainless steel bottle that you can boil water in, as well as I have the canteen cup.
That's what I use. I use the bottle because I used to go out with my girl, and she wouldn't carry half of her stuff, so I had to boil up water for both of us in the morning, making coffee or making tea or whatever.
I bought one of these. It's like a revised version of the World War II canteen, but like rebuilt, made better, new, wider mouth, so you can decide to clean it and stuff.
Are these stainless steel though?
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'd love to have a stainless steel one. I think it's better for you than the aluminum ones.
Yeah, you
but,
think?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I grew up with aluminum pots and pans and everything else, so I
And
mean, a
that
little bit more
explains
isn't going to kill me, and
everything.
it is a bug out bag, right? At the most, I'm going to live on it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, it all fits together. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it all fits together. Bob. It fits into a GI like style canteen. It's not any bigger than a GI style. I can fit everything in there in the lid into one, just like.
Yeah.
Now, Bob,
Yeah,
you said
little-
you're going to only have to live on it for 3 days? Don't you mean you're only going to live for 3 days?
Oh hell no! I got
Yeah,
enough
Chris,
meds.
I know
I
what you
got
mean
enough
as far
meds
as
stashed and stuff that
it is a
I can
cooking
go for.
cup
I,
I
separate
got
from
three.
the cooking
Hey,
cup,
I'm a 3 month kind of person. I got everything enough to go 3 months.
Except
That's
for
my rule.
beer
Hmm?
and smokes.
Oh, well, that just means I'll get to quit smoking finally, and I'll get to quit drinking beer finally.
I couldn't hear
Until I
anything
get
you
my
said,
snow
Dano.
going.
Bob was rambling on.
no one can.
Oh, come on. If I didn't talk, it'd just be like crickets going chirp, chirp,
I need
chirp.
to get one of those. That's the bottle I have right there. That I don't know if that looks like it might be a clean canteen.
Yeah, I think. Are you? Wait, what are you talking about? On
The
the bottle hanger?
yeah, the bottle hanger.
Oh yeah, it's just a clean canteen with his logo on the side. But
Mm.
I was just using the bottle hanger because that is the most. I think they use it for fishing, for like hanging up fish, or I don't know what
Well,
they
it's
use
for
that thing for.
spreading. It's
Mouth
for
spreader.
spreading their jaws to get the hook out,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they can't
that
bite
thing,
you when you're
but that
trying
thing
to get the hook
works
out.
so effing good. Like I don't know what I did before I had one of those.
Yeah.
It is the best piece of kit I've ever bought for $3.
Yeah, you can make them out of a hanger,
Okay.
like a metal
Um,
wire hanger. Wilderness. Oh, what was his name? Another YouTuber did a video on it, like a young kid.
But
He did
but
a good
but
video.
$3 ain't breaking the bank, Bob.
No,
My time
No, but I
with the
mean,
wire hanger might be worth more than that.
no, a hanger's free, man. You just take it from somebody's, when you.
Oh, so you're saying steal it instead of spend $3, Bob? Is what you're saying, dude.
Well, I'm saying borrow it and repurpose it.
and then having to find something to wrap it around, and then having a spring come back and hit me in the eye and me cursing. It's not worth it. $3.
Let
Take
alone
it
having to
to
wear
a
an eye patch
gun.
the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, think
I'll
about it.
spend the $3.
I'm a
Yeah.
gun channel. I'm a gun
gotta-
channel elitist. I piss $3.
You gotta be like
With
have the
excellence.
proper mindset. Is I can make it, right? I don't need to
Yeah.
buy it. I can make it.
the cool thing about this canteen too is it's the lid is made out of Bakelite. Like
Nice.
I don't know where he found somebody to make him lids out of Bakelite, but that lid is even the lid, the attention to detail on the build on this thing is really
Is that the top one? Is that the top link above the bottle hanger? Is that
Yeah.
the one you're talking about?
yeah. It's the canteen cook set or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
That's pretty nice. I need to get one of those.
It's
I can tell you right
expensive.
now, the
ain't
Nalgene.
light
I'm all
either.
about it. The Nalgene I spot just the Nalgene alone that I got was $40 when I bought that.
Oh
the
wow.
problem with that is, well, they weren't making them for a while. They stopped making the metal Nalgenes, and the Clean at the time. Clean didn't have the big ones. They didn't have them, and they did, but they were the ones that were riveted that you couldn't boil.
Yeah.
They changed their design, so I was in that period of time. But the problem with it is it's heavy. I mean, it's thick stainless. If you get the Nalgene version and not the Clean, that thing weighs a ton.
This thing isn't light either, but like I made it for like a little hiking like thing, so I'm not taking a bunch of crap with me. I'm just going on a day hike. It's a nice little piece of kit for something like that.
Yeah. I got my titanium cup. I used the titanium cup with Maxpedition, like their Nalgene bottle holder, and that's the kind of version I use for day hikes.
The only thing that bugs me about that is I can't. Hey, which titanium is it? Nest in the with the Nalgene bottle?
Yep. And then I can actually put a stove, and because I got a little micro stove and a short bottle of gas, I can hold it all together if I needed to.
You link that in the side what cup it is, because I can't find a cup that I have a Nalgene bottle right here, and I can't find a cup that nests in it.
Let me think if I can remember. Here, let me go. I think it's a Snow
No.
Peak. Let me go take a look, 'cause I don't even remember what brand it is.
No rush. No,
Yeah.
I know some of them do and some don't. And like I have like the average size right here of Nalgene bottle. It's
Yeah.
like the standard size, and I
Yep.
can't find anything that nests in it.
Let me go take a look real quick.
Chris, thanks for the suggestions.
What did you have another question?
Well, no, it's just a hydration pack. So trying to figure out how to, because it really threw me off because I was expecting there to be a hole up top to run the tube through.
Dude, like we'd run the. I mean, as long as you have it near the top and you have it secured, like on top. That's why we put it on the top, like through the straps, because you can the tube's plenty long enough to get around. You know, like you see those straps that go through the top that secure it down. We'd run it right underneath the flap, like or even through the straps on the top.
Right.
And it's nice too, because then you have the option to go small. Like you can put down your rucksack and take your water with you, and you still, you'd also have water in the rucksack. The sky's the limit. You can pretty much do anything. And I would highly, I mean, you can't have, I don't know, like one of those things that like, to me, you can't have enough things to hold water in. Like maybe not on you, but like options. I have like 4 Nalgene bottles, like a few clean canteens, more canteens than I can shake a stick at, and like a bunch of Camelbacks, and that way it gives me options. I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work, but maybe this will work. Okay, I can stuff this in here. Okay, you're not just stuck with one thing,
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, if you take more than one thing with you, then if one thing breaks, you have something else with water in it.
Right.
And if you keep it modular, you can also take things off and put things on.
Very true.
Okay, I'm not sure what number. It's a Snow Peak. Oh, let me think. This one might.
There's a Snow Peak store near me, and the last time I went in there, the guy said he didn't know, and I didn't have my Nalgene bottle with me, so I couldn't really size it out. So I'll have to go back.
They all have the same. They're different numbers depending on how big it is. I'm putting a link in right now.
Cool.
But this is exactly what it is. I'm not sure if this is if I got the 700 or a 400 or whatever. It's the size of a standard mug. They have some that are a little bit taller.
Does it have a lid? That's
Yep.
one thing I know.
It's a stainless lid though. It's not a titanium lid, which I don't give really a crap about. But yeah, it comes with the lid and the little arms fold up around it, so it will fit in to most of those holders pretty nicely.
I have to look at this. Yeah.
This might be exactly the one that I have.
If my Nalgene bottle fit in that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it does. It will. It's got to be the Trek series, though. It's not those other Nalgene. They have another Snow Peak that are like smaller, more coffee cup sized.
Yeah.
Those won't.
Yeah,
those won't work.
This is much larger than those. All right, cool.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm gonna save this.
It's a nice cup too. It's taken a beating from me, and I haven't gotten any, which I figured would get some dings and all that, and it hasn't gotten dinged up yet.
Nice. There's a REI right down the street. There's a REI, and then within a few blocks of the REI, there's a Patagonia store and a Snow Peak store.
Wait a minute, you are a Gun Channel's elitist. What are you talking about, REI and...
Do you
I
live
don't
in a
hide
major
it.
metropolitan area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those urban Gun Channels.
Here you go.
Elitists.
I mean,
elitist? Nice.
I mean, the closest REI to me is about 70 miles, and the closest Cabela's is about 50 miles. I mean, there's nothing close to me.
Our the Cabela's that opened up down here is such a letdown. It's so expensive. It's ridiculous how expensive it is.
You're supposed to feel privileged that they allow you to walk inside.
Well, I mean, I have to say, when I walked inside, I was in awe, but then I saw the prices, and that wore off. So the awe wore off really quickly.
We're at REI.
No, at Cabela's.
Cabela's.
Oh, yeah, all those stores. It's like Bass Pro's the same way.
Oh, Cabela's is cheaper than Gander Mountain here. Quite a bit, actually. Kind of surprising.
Here, I posted a picture of that, how I got it nestled, how you'll see it get nestles in. That's exactly the setup I got, the one on the right.
Are you sure I can click this?
Yeah, there's no titties.
You
I
don't
wasn't
know,
even, I
do
wasn't
you?
even worried about titties, but knowing you never know.
Island hates titties.
I love titties. What are you talking about? Titties are all American.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
Those
See,
are
that's
sweet.
different. That's a little different than I have the plastic Nalgene bottle right here.
It's the same size.
Oh, same size. Oh, okay, cool. Fucking A. My life is complete now.
That thing is bomb proof though. That Nalgene bottle. I mean, you can literally. It's almost too thick.
Nice.
They stopped making them for a while, and everybody was freaking out.
Sweet.
Motherfucker says, is that on Prime? What?
Yes, it's on Prime.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm seeing if that Nalgene bottle's on Prime.
It is. It probably is now. It probably is now.
Because this crack is about to click some shit.
See, I'm all right with REI because I get something back from paying a little bit more from them.
Many
What the what?
What the fuck, Bob? You having a stroke?
I hope.
Right, do we need to call 911, Bob? Are you okay?
Quick, do not call 911.
Everybody wait at least 10 minutes.
What
Oh,
are you talking?
Here, I'll
That's
tell
what
you
you
what.
guys sound like to me.
The doctor's in the house. The doctors have taken care of it.
Okay, just to check. Did anybody else hear what I was saying, and did I sound like Bob?
I heard what you said.
What'd you
Okay,
say?
cool. Nothing important, but I didn't sound like Bob.
Well, nobody.
Oh, you
sounds
just
like
did
Bob.
now for a second. Bob.
Somebody posted on one of Nathan's videos, no chats, and I guess it's been a couple weeks, February 1st, not too long. I put his wife won't let him, and somebody put that sucks.
Yeah, I remember putting a comment thing, or at least he might comment saying like, it's really not my thing anymore, or something like that, and there was like nothing.
yeah. I put his wife won't let him.
Yeah, and it probably is. She probably just put her foot down and said, no more. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, she
No
just
more
probably
cats,
put her
so
foot
no
down and
more
said,
sex.
you're not going to do these chats all the time. It's taking up too much of your time. You're not getting shit done, The laundry's piling up.
Keep digging, Bachelor Bob.
Oh, hell no, I'm already dead.
Oh, this is sweet. I did not know Fleet Farm sold Mountain House.
Sold what?
Mountain House, their freeze-dried food.
Oh. Yeah, that stuff's kind of expensive.
Yes, but for a 3-day bag.
Yeah, for a 3-day bag, it's a good idea as long as you boil water, and that's going to sterilize anything. Plus, you're going to be carrying some water.
Hey, San Antonio, is that like what, a 32-ounce Nalgene?
I think so.
Or bigger?
It's like a standard Nalgene. I think it holds just a tad bit more.
Okay, because the one I found here, I'll link it and see if this looks like the same one.
I think Clean came out with a series that you might as well buy. It's lighter. You can boil with them now, and I think they're cheaper. Like, that's just a bomb-proof. Yeah.
That's not expensive, though.
That's 32. No, I have the 38 ounce. Mine is just, instead of that being tapered down like that one is, mine is just like a regular Nalgene.
It's a regular cylinder, and it's not tapered at the bottom? Gotcha.
Like I said, they disappeared for a while, and that's where the Pathfinder school, like he was like going to make his own or get his own made because they disappeared. But it's been a couple years. Like I got a lot of my stuff years ago. So
yeah,
back in
that's
the
actually
day.
a nice bottle. I mean,
it's bulletproof. You can't. That thing where the cleans, you can like squeeze the cleans and you can see them move a little bit. Like you cannot see that bottle move.
Here you go, dude. I think I found it. It's not a Prime, but let me see if this is it. Check that next one.
Yeah, that's it.
Right on.
And I got it during the scare, so like I said, I spent a little bit more than that. I think I spent $40 because there just wasn't any of them around, so I bought the one I could.
There was a scare.
That's about what I'm spending.
On these bottles, yeah, these were huge back in when the prepping thing was real big. I mean, now it's all guns and people are still prepping, but like you've kind of seen it die down a little bit. Like these were like the go-to.
Yeah, people got real quiet about it because it started to get, other people would go, "Oh, you're a prepper." Well, I know where I'm coming when shit hits the fan, and they'd be like, "Ah, fuck, now I got to shoot somebody."
Get yourself one of those fish mouth spreaders too, because then you can hang it easily
Yep.
with oil in it like without
Yep.
any problems.
The
Yeah,
only problem with
any
these,
store will have them.
the only problem with these, and I haven't got around to dealing with it, is that top cap is heavy on top of everything. That cap is extremely way too heavy than it needs to be, and I think you can use regular Nalgene tops. I haven't got around to doing it. I got a few Nalgenes
Now, when
around
you
here.
say heavy, what do you mean like heavy? Like what is heavy?
4 or 5 ounces.
Well, look, the weight of it's 12.3 ounces just for the bottle.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm saying you're making the top out to be like heavy. I'm like, well, what do you mean?
Like the top's probably 3-4 ounces just in itself.
Oh,
Like it's made of thick plastic. Like when I'm looking at when I'm carrying all this gear, like that's just something I'm not one of those extra lightweight type, make a stove out of a empty cat food can or something like that. But at the same time, all this crap adds up. Yeah, it adds up.
But the stainless is where most of that weight is coming from, not the plastic.
Nope. Do you have one of these, Dano?
Do I have that brand? No.
Yes. Okay. Then
Do I have metallic bottles?
It is a big chunk of the weight of that. It actually is the top.
Yeah, they make it out of really thick plastic. It's almost like a hockey puck.
Yeah, buy it and tell me that when you take it off, that doesn't weigh 4 ounces. It weighs more than my T1. Let's put it that way.
Well, I mean, there's no danger in me spending $30 just to tell you you're right or wrong.
Now, why don't you just weigh the top for us, and then you can come back and say, "Okay."
Because I don't deal cocaine out of my apartment, so I don't have a little scale around to weigh it out.
nah,
You don't
hey.
reload?
No, I don't reload. I don't got room for that.
Why the hell wouldn't you reload?
He's
I
an
don't have room.
elitist. What does he need to reload for when he
I'm
buys
I'm
it?
a gun
Probably
trainer's
shotgun
elitist.
shells with a nail and a chunk of 2x4.
Yeah. And
Yeah, seriously.
yeah. Well, I'm not from Canada, okay?
Oh.
It's got nothing to do with
Eh?
it.
Sure it
Eh?
does, eh?
No, it doesn't, eh? Tell you what, man, if you're here in person, man, I'd pull your sweater over your head. Really?
It is a big chunk of the weight. Like it's overbuilt for what it needs to be. The whole entire thing is.
I see your point. Yeah,
I'm not talking trash about it. I'm just saying it is heavier. Once you get it, it's a great bottle. It is bomb-proof, but that top weighs more than it needs to weigh.
It'd be nice if the top was like magnesium or even stainless steel. It'd still be lighter, Stainless steel with a little clip on the top to keep it attached to the bottle when you're not boiling shit in it. Why wouldn't they do that?
But yeah, it's a pretty nice bottle. I think the Pathfinder, you can go to the Pathfinder where he linked to earlier. You can go to that, and I think they have their version, which it's probably cheaper, and probably I'd recommend it more if it's a little bit lighter. Let's see if they have it. Self-reliant.
Yeah, he actually has some neat shit on his website, but it's like for shipping for me, it's too much.
Moon.
Kind of stuff.
Moon. How can you put that out there in the universe like that? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Moon Food, but holy shit, dude.
What do you say? What do you say?
Well, can you read, Bob?
Well, is it in the internal?
No. Is Moon in here?
Can't read. Oh, well, I don't know.
All you'd have to do is look. What?
Okay, no, all right. He's not in here, so he's in the external. I don't have the external shot. Huh. You guys try to make
Moon Food.
No, I finished reading it or whatever.
Yeah,
and
read the whole thing before you overreact to it.
Well, look how it started out. It's like, what? I'm just glad. Yeah, I got it.
It's clearly a joke.
Clearly.
Holy crap. Not that I'd ever eat this.
I mean, he has a point. I mean, truly.
Well, since Nathan has done a couple of videos since, seems to
We
be
know he's alive, yeah.
well,
Here.
and clearly can put a couple of words together intelligently. So I don't think there's an issue there.
Yeah, just get the clean. Like if you go, I'm looking at the website right now. It's 2 extra ounces, but it's about the same price. But it's a little bit lighter. Like I said, if you want something bomb-proof that you absolutely can't destroy, go with the Nalgene version. But clean's version, at some point I'm gonna get another one. I just don't have a need for another one right now.
And see, I ended up with like the what do you call it? Sports Authority stainless, but it's got the narrow. It's not as narrow as some of the water bottles. You can still fit plenty ice in it.
Yep.
But it's not as wide as like the Nalgene or the clean ones.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one. Like I said, one's just a little bit lighter, which is probably not going to make any of a difference in overall, beating it up or something. I don't think you can do too much damage to it. If you drop it, I think it's still going to survive, whether it's a clean or...
Well, and here's the other thing. I'm not really suggesting this in any way, shape, or form, but for example, like on mine, how it has the like the circle, it's not a little thin strap like that. Like it's a hard plastic or whatever in a decent sized hole. Like if, say, you were to put liquid in there or sand and you happen to tie a rope to it or something like that, all of a sudden it becomes a defensive item. I'm not suggesting you do that.
No, I know what you're saying. I'll suggest it. Go ahead and do that, everybody. I will say that the Nalgene has a massive lip for that. I don't know about the clean, but the Nalgene on the top of it, it is definitely built for that. You could actually wrap a nice little size thickness rope, around that. Easily a paracord rope that you've braided together, and it will hold it. I don't know about the design of the clean up top.
By the way, Daniel, I put the link in the internal because we know how much you need ice cream. So I think we're having some freeze dried.
You do know, Dano, that just like was Quark poking you, going, "You're kind of fat."
What?
Here's
Well, he talked about how he liked ice cream.
Here's a link, San Antonio, to something that Self-Reliance or Wilderness Outfitters or whatever has got on his page. It's pretty damn cool.
Ooh.
It's the whole thing. Like if you're looking at getting one of those, this is like everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One. How much is that bottle regularly?
27 for his.
Yeah.
For the 40 ounce. Yeah.
What? Wait a minute. Where's that link? What?
It's on the website. He linked to the bottle hanger again.
Okay.
Oh, did I? Shit. I'm sorry.
That's all right,
You
dude.
can get the 64 ounce. The 64 ounce. It's too big for like one person, but that's only $32. But you can boil a nice amount of water with that.
There's a right link right there.
Yeah, I just want to point this out. The reason I put that link in the internal for Dano is because we know how crabby he gets when he doesn't have his ice cream.
Doesn't have his ice cream, I know. It's like Yankee and watermelon.
Yeah.
I don't know. After the other day, I think my new catchphrase is going to be "Eat a Snickers bar."
There
you go.
Who was doing that?
Oh, he sells a whole kit for $70. I think that looks like it's a Condor pouch instead of the Maxpedition, but
I don't need.
His Coleman propane stove's just a
Well,
tad expensive.
I have mine because I have a little Janus pouch on the side, and I don't have to carry a big pack. Like that pouch has got between the Janus on the side of it and the front pouch, I can carry everything I need. I strap my knife to it, and I can go out all day.
Did you see the Trail Pro cook set for a hundo or a Franklin?
I like the pot.
This is
I like that titanium.
We knew you liked the pot, Bob. We knew that already.
The pot that you get from Wilderness Outfitters, not the pot
You're
you
looking
get
at the
from my
32
friend on
ounce
the street.
Nalgene, right? Island.
Can't hear you.
Can you say again, please?
You're looking at the 32 ounce Nalgene, right?
I started looking at the Trail Pro cook set. Actually, was what I started to look at.
I was looking at the 32 ounce Gen 3 bottle with a cup
The
and
nesting cup and bottle stove for $50. That's not bad either.
No, because I'm generally not cooking when I go out. I bring a couple snacks or a couple power bars or whatever, but I'm not usually cooking. Even though I can fit my, like I said, my little stove and carry the little tiny gas canister up in the top of mine, but I just don't.
Well, like you said, that one for 70, it's got the little pouch. The one for 100, it has a slightly larger pouch. But yeah, if you're not cooking so much, it's almost a non-issue.
Yeah.
The cool thing about the one at the canteen is it'll fit any GI pouch. So you could have an old like pouch you got at the surplus store, and it'll fit in there. It'll fit in anything. Whereas, so you don't need to have like a specialty a pouch to stick it in.
Yeah, I don't have them because I just don't have a lot of those bottles. I got a shitload of Nalgene bottles around, so I've even got the massive for my Falcon pack. If I'm going out, usually for like a real light one-nighter, I got these big old, what do they call them? They look like dump pouches, but they hold a Nalgene bottle. But I have the big Nalgenes. I think they're like the 64-ounce Nalgenes, so I can strap water because there's no water where I'm at. I can strap 2 of those on the side on a Falcon pouch, and between my little hammock and I got a real small, lightweight sleeping bag, I can pretty much go just a single backpack for like 2 days.
Nice. Is that where you go out and meet the coyote?
Well,
That's
I take
coyote.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit further west.
But speaking of sleeping bags, cold weather, that's one thing I don't have is a sleeping bag.
In Cork, where you live, it probably doesn't make any sense unless you're going to actually invest in a heater and everything else to be able to survive outside at -30.
Yeah, it's rarely -30.
I was going to say the exact opposite. And where you live, you should have a sleeping bag just in case.
Yeah.
Mandatory almost.
It doesn't even get 20 degrees where I live. I mean, maybe once or twice, maybe.
If the heat goes off for 12 hours, your house may get down to 40, 30, 20 degrees.
Yeah, your pipes will start freezing.
Even if you were outside, if you made a long fire, you could survive, but you can't survive without like some kind of blanket or something.
It amazes me, Bob, that I would actually have to tell you this, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. You open the valves on your faucets and you leave your lines open. You don't shut them off so they won't fucking freeze.
Yep, and you can turn your water supply off.
Yeah, but you know what, Dano? When it's -30 and you haven't had power for a couple days, even though you've got all your taps open, the water will still expand at the joints or elbows in the pipes and burst anyway. That's why, if you got an RV up here, you have to put antifreeze into the plumbing system.
Well, I'm not
pouring gallons of this stuff in.
Those that live in an RV. So for those that live in a building,
I'm not talking about living in an RV. I'm saying it's that cold, right? So if you lose your heat up here, no matter what whether you leave your taps open or not, your pipes are going to burst and freeze.
So I hope all you guys appreciate what we've learned tonight about Bob eating with aluminum and antifreeze his entire life.
It makes the water. It makes the water taste sweeter.
Okay.
I give up.
Now, I will say that you shut the water off at the main if you know you're going to be at the power and heat for quite a while. And you open your taps and drain your taps. So
exactly.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't all drain.
North knows that. Apparently, except for Bob.
Sitting in the bottom.
I'm the only one that doesn't know that.
Hey, are those Old Hickory?
Now, Bob, it won't all drain, but by leaving your taps open and your water off, it gives the water, when it freezes and expands, a place to expand too. It's not working against air pressure.
I've winterized cabins probably, and no, you have to completely blow your lines out. You ever when we have underground sprinklers here, right? When it gets cold out, we blow them out because the water, no matter what, is going to sit in those lines. It doesn't matter if they're open. It's going to sit there and it expands and it will blow the joints out.
Right, but underground sprinklers are not intended to be run year-round, Bob. They're only seasonal. Your house is intended to be run year-round.
Not if it doesn't have heat. Once you take the heat away after 3 days, doesn't matter whether you open the taps or not, you're going to have burst pipes.
Listen to these elitists arguing about their underground plumbing.
Yeah, well, Bob, your basement's also a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Basements stay a lot warmer than the upstairs of your house as well.
I had
They're
heat off for
underground.
3 days. I had heat off for 3 days, and I had burst pipe on the outside wall.
All right, I'm going to officially call it Tony.
His heart's
Tony.
his heart's not in the game anymore.
Are you taking your ball and going home, Dano?
Well, no, it's you know how it used to have the thing called calling uncle, like.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Somebody would twist your arm until you said uncle. Well, now it's like, okay, you want to end this discussion, just say uncle, because there's only room for one voice in that room.
Don't come into my room and tell me what to think.
Exactly.
I didn't ask you here for your opinion.
I can
asked you here for your worship.
For a little while, if that will help people.
Piano.
I don't think your heart's in the game. You're not dedicated. You're not dedicated to the cause.
All right, he's hidden for a little while, so you can talk to him.
Friends, Romans, and sycophants, lend me your ears. Because I don't want to listen to your mouths.
Yeah.
I have had to hide Bob from broadcast a couple times. He's available now.
For what?
Yeah.
That's it, nothing.
Andy's out behind the Dixie tweets.
I'm actually kind of still stuck on the fact that he waited with no heat for 3 days for his pipes to burst, as opposed to using that, time to maybe figure out a source of warmth.
I bet he's screaming right now at his mic. He still doesn't stop talking.
We had a fire going, we had space heaters going everywhere, but it wasn't enough heat because it's an 1,800 square foot house and it's like stone, so it gets cold fast.
Well, were you gagged or something? Because I'm sure the way you ramble on, you wouldn't have needed all that peripheral heat source.
Oh, no, seriously, we had a fire going in the living room. We had space heaters all over, and
Now that's just dirty.
If he had space heaters going, then he's got electricity. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I had all the shit going, but it still froze a pipe.
Well, if you would have used the alcohol for the stoves instead of drinking it, it would have done its job.
Yep.
Well, we had gas, so we had like gas stove and everything still worked and everything.
Oh, that's exactly what I need right there, the mixed bottle.
Yeah, the furnace just blew up.
There's somebody in this chat would see the benefits of it.
Only for margaritas. Typically, I drink it straight.
Yeah, and I actually do have a sleeping bag, except the zipper broke, so it doesn't zip up anymore.
Yeah, what I did with mine, I had two of them like that. I just cut the what do you call it? The straps right off of it, and just fold it in half and make me a human burrito.
I use one for my hammock. I got a busted one. I lay in the bottom of my hammock because they're great in the summer, but they tend to cool off quicker because you got all that air blowing underneath you. So I lay that one underneath.
It's a good idea, actually.
I'll never go back to sleeping in a tent. I mean, maybe up north I would, but not down south. It makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Clark.
I'm done with tents, man.
Yeah,
I've tented for 30 years.
Hammocks are. Oh my! I'll never go back. That was the best choice I ever made. Was start using hammocks.
Oh yeah. Well, I've thought we've always had hammocks at the campsites, because they're great for nice lazy afternoon. It's nice and warm, and just kind of hang out in the hammock, read a book.
Well, it gets so hot down here. You guys are talking about the cold. It gets to where it's so unbearably hot, like you don't want to go out. Yeah. And when you're in a tent, you're all next to the ground, you get all hot. Where in your hammock, you can control that, how cool you get pretty easily.
I remember we camped once, and it got the hottest it had been in years, right? And it was like plus 40, which is, I don't know, 100 and some degrees. And because we were in the overflow campsite, we had like short trees and no shade. It was freaking awful. Like, as soon as the sun came up, you woke up because the tent just turned into a toaster.
Yep. I got a steel nylon tarp. Like I literally now I spent a little bit of money on the sleeping bag, of course, but I mean I can get away. Everything's packed down to the size of a softball, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it so easy, so light.
Oh yeah.
You don't get hot at all. Just hang a ridge line.
No, that's a good idea, man. I actually, there was a TV show about this crazy British guy who got dropped off in the Canadian North and then, tried to spend the summer there, and he damn near died. He ended up eating porcupine, and it was really funny. But he actually put a little pet deter electric fence around his hammock, thinking that would stop the bears. I'm surprised he didn't get eaten, but yeah, he didn't. Quite an interesting series. I think it's like 10 hours of it.
Sounds like it. I'll tell you, 2 summers ago, I almost crapped myself. We have a bunch of caves, about 3 caves on the property, and I was going outside of one, and I showed up real late, and it was hot, so I hang my tent out in front of the caves because it blows either warm or cool, depending on what season it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like air conditioning. So I hung up, and next morning I go out and I go in the cave, and needless to say, that's been taken over by a mountain lion, and I just didn't even go and bother to look inside the cave, and I'm sitting there like a rat banana all night, not even thinking there could be a big cat, 10 feet from me inside this cave.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
He pushed all the pigs out, and it was a pretty interesting feeling, to say the least.
Well, you know what? If it got the pigs out of the property, that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, well, they're back. I mean, and mountain lions don't stay in one spot; they move.
Yeah.
They got huge ranges.
Yeah.
Just like a tiger shark.
Yeah.
I think it's funny sometimes, like out here, people that don't live here, they'll be like, oh, well, there was a shark there yesterday. Motherfucker, the shark swims.
Yeah.
It ain't still sitting there, like he's waiting for you to put your toes in the fucking water or something.
And more than likely, as soon as he heard me pull up and start running up the hill, I'm sure he heard me and he took off. It's hard pressed to see those.
Oh yeah,
And
cats are very cautious. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing, eh? They generally, unless they're starving, they'll never bother a human being.
No, and he's definitely not. There's enough pigs and water out towards that area.
Yeah.
Not on our property, but a couple miles away. So it was still a pretty eerie feeling though, because I crawled up in that cave the next morning and you could see all these big old prints. And I was like, "Holy shit!" I knew there's bobcats out there, but
What do you think of that one that I just posted? It's a little bit to pack. It wouldn't be very light, or I mean compact, but the tree tent or the tree hammock or whatever they're calling it, tree tent, tree hammock.
Oh yeah, I've seen the. I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We don't have trees like that. We've got bushes here.
This
where
would,
I'm at.
this would be
All
great.
right.
We've got
This would be great
junipers.
if you could do it north,
Oh.
but there isn't big enough trees.
Yeah, our tallest tree is probably to the bottom, or maybe to that orange line right there in the middle. That's about our tallest tree where I'm at. It's all junipers and mesquite. That's all it is junipers, cedars, and mesquite.
My problem is finding trees that far
Yeah, it does
apart.
look like a cool tent, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, my
Because like out here
problem
we have
is-
mesquite, but they call it kiave, right? It's just a different type of mesquite, but it must grow a little taller than that.
Yeah, a little bit, not much, and it's so different because I'm in the hill country, and
Unless
Texas.
that's a tiny little woman, that's a big freaking tent.
It is a big tent.
Yeah, it is a big tent.
Um,
That's what I was saying.
we
it's
got
not-
a lot of different types. So if you look in my picture, like you see the trees, like they're not that big, but
Right.
they're a little bit taller in that picture than where I'm at in our property. Because our property is considered the hill country where I'm at, and so the trees are a lot shorter. Like I said, mostly just junipers, which is just like a cedar.
Now, when you say your property, is that where you live, or that's where you go to on the weekends and stuff?
No, where I go to on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Uncle's got he had about 200 acres. We got less. He got divorced, so
You get half of that.
Yeah, she took half of it and sold it.
My problem though with something like that, the trees here are too close together to use something that big.
Yeah. Well, they make smaller ones, and you wouldn't need one that big because you'd be by yourself.
No, and I have a single hammock that I use, and I don't even have the best setup. I just got an Eno, an Eno hammock. They've got nicer for about $150. You can get built-in tarp and all that, and it's a nice setup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you can make a hammock out of a tarp if you had to. It's easy enough to tie the ends, and it does make a kind of acceptable hammock.
Yep.
Except it doesn't breathe. But in cold weather, that's good.
So yeah, well, I'm not making stuff. You can make a steel nylon tarp. You can get all sorts of different tarps, but the thing is, a steel nylon, it's ultra lightweight, and it works. Yeah. It just works.
You ever see the stuff Really Big Monkey does?
Is that a porn star?
Talking about Jeremy Clarkson?
Yeah, Really Big Monkey. He's kind of a bushcrafter. He does but he'll do okay, I'm going to take these two trees and I'm going to make a hammock out of them or a bed, and he's big into rope, and he'll string, paracord or rope or whatever across these things and make himself a bed that's above the ground, kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. I just go buy a tarp and a hammock, and I'm good.
Yeah, I can't sleep on my back, so hammocks are out for me anyway.
No, yeah, you could. It's different. My buddy, he's massive. He's got sleep apnea. He can't sleep on his back, and you can say whatever you want to, or you have sleep apnea. But he can sleep in a hammock because the way you're sitting, you can adjust yourself.
No, it's not. I don't have sleep apnea.
Yes, you do.
Such an ass sometimes.
I do that. I work. That is my work. I know when somebody has sleep apnea. You have sleep apnea.
Don't care for a bivvy?
No, ever since I was forced to sleep on my back in the hospital, I've not been able to sleep on my back since then.
Yeah.
So where do you sleep, on your side?
Because you
normally inside, sir.
Because you couldn't breathe.
You can do that in a hammock.
No, I can't fall asleep on my back.
Because you can't
Has
breathe.
here used a bivvy before?
I have. I used a surplus bivvy.
All right.
Back before I used to, like I said, before I switched over. They're just because they're lighter. They're smaller. You can get away with.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because what I was thinking of, and I understand what you're saying has a lot of advantages, and the only downside, and I can only think of one, is you have to find two ends to secure it to that can hold your weight.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's kind of a no-brainer. Sure, it works.
Did you see the ones that showed them on the beach where they were on this one pod pedestal?
Yeah, well, then you've got to have metal poles to help.
Yeah, but they were probably only about 2 feet long, and they're probably aluminum. They wouldn't be heavy.
Yeah, there are times where it's not the best. Like I said, if you're like in a big old open, you're in the middle of Oklahoma, and there's not two trees.
Where I live, the forests kind of come and go, and the forests we have aren't very old. So that's why what I have now basically is I have a ground pad, a decent ground pad. I've got a bivvy. I've got a sleeping bag that goes inside the bivvy, and what I don't have, but it's no big deal to pick it up, is face netting for summertime.
Yeah, I'm kind of claustrophobic, so I got rid of the bivvy kind of quick and went to I got a single, I think it's Eureka makes it, and it's real lightweight, and it gives you a little bit more room.
Mm-hmm. Bivvy about a year ago came out with an actual two-person bivvy. So for those that are either a little bit bigger or a little bit taller, they do make a two-person bivvy, and you can use it just for one person.
Or have a partner.
I'm not familiar with bivvy. I probably see them. I just don't recognize the term.
Man, you roboted so bad there I couldn't hear hardly any of it.
Okay, what is a bivvy? Because I can't picture it.
Bivouac?
It's a sleep system. Outer cover.
What you said, bivouac? Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a house being built with that Tyvek house wrap?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about when you said bivouac.
It's the Tyvek house wrap in the form of a sack. Oh,
And you
okay.
put your sleep system
It's
inside.
like a
your
smaller
sleeping
form
bag,
of what
your
I'm about to post.
inner
See, this little weighs
liner.
2 pounds. This is what I switched to right here. That's why I got it. This is perfect. Like, it's a little bit bigger. I mean, obviously it's bigger than a bivvy.
Yeah.
But for 2 pounds, you can't beat this.
10?
Yeah, this is a 10.
That's
It's
your
right.
10?
Wow.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I ended up switching to. Like I said, 2 pounds. I'm not like a lightweight dude, ultra lightweight, but once you start having a bunch of gear, the more you want to go out. I'm climbing 45-degree angles on these hills. Like, you don't want a bunch of weight. It's not flat where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right. That
that makes
looks
perfect
like an
sense, man.
outstanding tent.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
Unlike
is.
Dan,
I
well,
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like I said, it's a little bit bigger than a bivvy, so if you're kind of claustrophobic, I'm kind of weird about that kind of stuff, some of the stuff, but like having something like right on my face kind of freaks me out a little bit. So I slept horrible that the first 2 nights I used that thing, but I was on a 5-day run. I kind of got used to it, but then I went to this tent afterwards, and then I switched over to a hammock. I've got all sorts of shit that I've tried.
Yeah, I've got a tent, so I'm not worried about the tent. I need a sleeping bag now, but because my zip, as I said to Gino and Turno, the teeth broke on the zipper, not the zipper itself. So
my tent's getting a little old.
I won't skimp on it with sleeping bags. Like that's something I won't skimp because
that's something I won't plan on skipping.
That does it have? Sometimes I've heard it referred to as a bathtub feature, as far as the floor matting actually goes up the sides.
Yeah.
So that if there's a little water or something.
Yeah, for dew. Yeah, or rain. Yeah, it does.
Okay, because in the picture it doesn't look like it, but that could be misleading.
Yeah. Well most tents do nowadays.
Click the second picture and look towards the foot box. You can see it. The black comes up.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a.
Okay, I see it.
I've got a Roots tent that's a 12 by 12, and it does that too, and it worked great because we actually had a flood, big rain in the campground, and the water was actually there was a little tiny creek running under the tent. It was just bizarre, man. We had to prop up the front of the tent so the water wouldn't run into the tent.
No.
But
and
yeah,
that's exactly why they create these bathtub force systems for tents.
Yeah.
Well,
and you can get some smaller ones. You can get smaller, but the thing is, they start cutting the footprint, and I'm about 220, so I don't want it cut too small. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a perfect small size for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big guy either by height or by weight, but I don't like being confined a lot either. So, I like options. The bivvy is so small that it easily, I would like the option of using the bivvy or a one-man tent.
Yep. That's a perfect. I mean, if you're looking for a new tent, you won't regret that. You won't regret that, and it's not bad priced either.
Especially with I like in winter, it's not common for me to go out in the wintertime here and have literally 5 layers of top clothing on. So
damn, 5 layers.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have as much in
leather jacket keeps me warm.
I mean, right now I'm sitting in my house. I have a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and a vest on, and I don't even have anything to go outside yet. That's just sitting in my house.
Sitting in my house, which is kept at 60 degrees. I have my boxer briefs on and a sweatshirt.
Yeah, but you and I are 2 different ends of the weight spectrum.
Yeah. I will say this, Dan.
You're a bit chubby yourself. Don't say you're not. I weigh 280.
If you don't carry a tarp, you're going to want to get something with the vestibule that pops out a little bit, and I think they make another one. I always carry a small tarp.
I got a tarp just in case.
Yeah.
Well, and also if your tent gets destroyed, you've got a tarp. You can make a shelter with that. Yeah.
And that's part of the backup. I've got a tarp. I've got steel stakes. I've got, again, I like to have more than one sleeping system. I like to have more than one water system.
Here's one that's it's a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I haven't used this one, so I can't recommend it.
I throw one of those space blanket tents in my bug up bag because just in case it makes a really good 2-person sleeping bag if you have to use it.
I think I have a video of my setup. Let me see if I can pull that
Just
up.
out of curiosity, does Eureka make a dual version of that same style tent?
Yeah, they do. I mean, for one person though, you might as well get another tent. You know.
Well, what I'm thinking as far as like storing non-food items in. I can store other things in there with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's I've found that when I used to camp on the motorcycle. I started out with a one-man camping tent and found it was way too small. A two-man worked really well. A three-man, which wasn't a whole lot bigger to carry, was the best because you had somewhere to put your boots and your luggage and this kind of shit that you otherwise would have had to sit out in the snow or the
I'm
rain.
6'4", 280, and I have a two-man tent.
So yeah, you always want to. I mean, they say it's one man. It's a one-man tent, but that's only if that's the only thing you're gonna do is crawl in there and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So if you want something that's gonna be more useful, get a two-man. Or that's kind of nice.
I'm trying to find the
Anna,
video.
what were you talking?
Now.
Naked
Yeah,
something?
I'm over on Amazon trying to find
chatting privately.
version of that Eureka.
Oh, I like the one that hangs from the tree branch. Unless the tree branch breaks, and then it'll kill you.
Well, I don't live
You
in
don't have any trees by you, Bob.
that's constantly forested with
I
big
love the trees
like that.
Yeah. You should see, like, I'm going to have access to, let's see, it's 320 acres, and there's probably at least 5 or 10 acres of bush. that I can go in and
Promise us you're going to stay there the whole time, right?
Here, let me go to screen share
Sorry?
and I'll show you this.
I'm slowly building my bag out. It's taking me quite a while.
Screen share.
All right, Santori's going to screen share.
This is like, and I have to find the other video, but this is where pretty much the land where I'm out on.
Have your finger hovering over the shut broadcast off button. Have it hovering.
I already do.
All right, you see those trees? Yep. This is the land that I'm on right here.
It's not a nudist colony, right?
No. You see our trees? You see our trees right there?
I don't actually. I don't see anything. You're not showing me
I
anything.
a regular picture.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. You got a screen share.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
screen sharing. Yeah, you're not screen sharing.
Make sure you put all the porn that you have, like in your toolbar, close that out, because otherwise we'll see that too. Yankee told me about that.
You see that now?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the flattest part of our property right here. I mean, like most of the caves where I'm up in are up in these hills.
Okay.
And let me see if I can find a video of, and I hang all the time off of these trees.
Oh man, I'd love to live someplace like that. Is it warm in the winter?
Oh my God, yeah, it's warm. But the problem is, if you look at the ground, there's no soil. It's just rock. So if you're sleeping on a tent, you're.
Shut up. No, Bob, it's horrible here. It's cold. It's miserable. We're infested with Mexicans. There's absolutely nothing appealing about living in Texas, and with you here, there would be even less.
Yeah, there's Mexican criminals coming over the border that might need to be, like, stopped.
I'm hovering over hide from broadcast just in case.
What is that? I don't know what you guys are telling me to do. Am I still broadcast? You are screen.
Yeah, no,
you're still screen sharing.
No, you're still screen sharing.
All right, let me go to the other video.
We're looking at.
No, it wasn't. I'm not popping up the porn videos unless we're offline. See, here's this. Here.
At least there's a difference.
Man, that place looks great. I really I'm gonna have to talk to Edge. I'd rather come visit him than Chris anyway, because Chris is kind of getting scary and weird.
So is that a tent or a tarp? Or?
That's a tarp. That's my seal nylon tarp. Okay. There's my Glock. There's my.
Nice.
Where are all the snakes?
Everywhere. You worry about snakes. You worry about the scorpions. Everywhere you look, like right in the screen right here, there's probably hundreds of scorpions.
Good God. Okay, I don't want to move there.
It must be like scorpions down there.
That's all I do, and I can pitch down. I have it pitched up because I want the wind blowing. It's obviously hot as hell that day. But yeah, you see in the picture, there's those big Nalgenes I was talking about on the side.
Oh yeah.
Falcon too. And I got 2 of those water bottles of Nalgene plus my stainless that I carry. And I'm good for 2 days with that pack.
Now,
Wowzers.
you said that there are tons of scorpions. When you pitch it down to the ground, aren't you afraid the scorpions are going to climb up it?
No, I don't pitch it on the ground. I'm off the ground, but I pitch I can lower the, that's a huge tarp. I can lower it and I can bend it certain ways to close it in where I look like a banana if I want to. I can close in the ends of that tarp and I can bring it lower to the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can control a lot.
Now, if only you could burn a stove in it, that would be perfect.
Oh, I can. I reach over and I cook
even
my coffee in the morning.
Nice. Without having
See
to
the
put your
rocks?
feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want
Lots
to
of 'em.
sleep. Yeah, you don't want to sleep. And that right there is like probably a 35-degree angle.
And underneath each one of those rocks is either a centipede or a scorpion or a snake.
Tarantula or something. The snakes, I've never run into a snake out there.
Wow.
I've had one.
I'm glad I live in Wisconsin.
This sounds gross.
In 9 years, I've had one
I live in
rattlesnake and
Wisconsin,
mostly
either.
tarantulas, but more scorpions than anything else.
And I think I got pictures of the
Yeah,
cave.
living in Wisconsin sounds pretty much like living anywhere in Canada. So
Like here, our
Except
scorpions.
without healthcare.
Here's one of the here's one of the caves I was talking to you about. This is the one I sleep out.
Like out here, we have centipede scorpions, and we were talking about spiders and stuff like that last night. But our scorpions are kind of small, but our centipedes make up for it by being really big.
Ew.
What? I thought the smaller they were, generally, the more poisonous they were.
Well,
No,
like in
venomous.
Not
Okay.
poison. Venomous.
Okay, venomous.
Okay.
Attacks
But
the
anyway,
neural
like
system.
most of our scorpions out here, Dano, are the like tan or light brown ones. They're not like the dark or the black ones, which
Yeah.
are larger and usually the stinger itself is bigger and it causes a bigger
Wound.
yes. Whereas out here, it's like a really, 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 really hot wasp sting kind of.
Yeah.
Thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you
call 'em
know you
bark.
got yeah. You know you got stung and it's gonna burn, but it ain't gonna you ain't gonna unless you're
It's not deadly.
No.
Whereas the centipedes with their bite, that I'm not saying it's killed anybody, but man, it swells up pretty bad.
You're hurting.
What about the scorpion in Texas? Are those? Do you have to seek immediate treatment or
No.
Nah, we have the the sort of tannish green ones that like the biggest one I've seen is maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches long, but we have these like little tiny black ones that are the size of big ants, and they literally look like ants. They run around, but I told you I've gotten nailed more by scorpions than anything else here, and it's just kind of like a bee sting.
Yeah, the ones we have out here, we call them bar scorpions. They're the brown ones, 1.5 inches, 2 inches.
So the scorpion thing is really a Hollywood myth.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
There's some that kill you, just not here, not
Go
not
over
this
towards
property.
G-Webs and Chris. I bet you they have the big.
They have the bark scorpions, don't they?
That's what we have. Those won't kill you.
Yeah.
No, those just irritate the shit out of you. And you got stung. That's the other thing. You got stung.
You guys got so many bugs. Why does everybody think your country's so good? I'm starting to think,
'Cause you're
we
not
think
here.
the idea of moving
Oh
there.
shit! It's starting to work, fellas.
Yep.
Hey Bob, Wisconsin's a lot like Canada. There's no venomous snakes.
There are more ticks in Wisconsin.
Lyme disease, Bob.
Oh
Yeah.
God! Don't worry about
Lyme-
Dano. I've never moved to Wisconsin. I mean, I've seen TV shows about those people. It's like, oh gosh, that's a yawner.
And
No,
this is the
Dan, I will
front.
say that there is the tick problem, but nothing off won't take care of.
2 of our
You
caves
cannot
have a front like
spray
this.
off on you and expect the scorpions not to sting you.
Ah, you see, like you're trying to talk me into Wisconsin quirk. Okay, I get it. No, I still think I'm going to go to Arizona. It just seems more friendly, or Nevada maybe. I could go to Las Vegas.
Utah.
What's his
Go to
name?
Utah.
Tony whatever. Tony whatever. He sounds like pretty. He'd be like good to party with.
I mean, Tony,
who are you talking about, Bob?
or Artisan Tony, or is
Well,
Artisan
you know,
Tony
not artisan. Not artisan Tony. No, the other one, the bald-headed guy that's on the Green Dragon chats all the time.
I don't know.
He went to
I
the
don't
Bundy.
watch the Green Dragons.
Yeah, he went to the Bundy Ranch and everything.
Yeah, your truck is messy.
Isn't it? That's an ugly truck. Is that a Chevy?
No,
It's a Nissan, isn't it?
it's a Nissan.
Nissan? Oh, fuck.
Well, and
What,
it's
you forgot
not
all
a
about
truck.
Pearl Harbor? You forgot all about Pearl Harbor. You bastard.
Try going
Well, I
out there.
thought everybody
in
in Texas had trucks.
Well, it's an SUV.
Oh.
Technically.
The men have trucks. The women have SUVs.
It's a beautiful
Oh.
area, though. I mean, it's this is what they call the hill country here in Texas. Most of it's flat, unless you go far out, west. This is about the only
We got more hills in Wisconsin.
road runners. You get
Right.
armadillos.
Yeah,
all
I
sorts
mean,
of
we have,
stuff
we
out
have
here.
hills. Well, we don't have hills in Saskatchewan. We have valleys. It'll just be like this
Oh,
big.
you got armadillos, Bob? You definitely want to go to Texas. They can give you leprosy.
Yep.
Armadillos? I just want to shoot them. I want to shoot the wild pigs, man. That's the big thing.
On this, there's pigs
Armadillos.
everywhere. But here's the deal. Once you start later on in this video, we're passing all these ranches. There's people that have the antelopes, and so they hang up all the coyotes when coyotes come through. There's one guy, if I can pause it, like he's got 7 coyotes hung up outside the gate, like letting everybody know.
Right. Coyotes are pests, and they're really.
He's letting
expanding their
everybody
range,
know,
and
do
you kill
not
them all.
come into my yard.
Yeah. And so
But there's axes out here.
Like a
There's
scarecrow.
axes. We have axes,
Like a
deer.
scarecrow, man.
The
That's
axes-
crazy.
Bob.
That's what that's the kind of deer we have out here is axis deer.
We get whitetail, of course, but the
And
axes.
mules too, right? You should have mule deer down there too, right?
I'm sure
Or,
they have in some part. I've only seen whitetail and axis on our property.
Tell me
that's all
about
we have
access
is
deer.
whitetail. But Bob, I want to go back to the armadillo
Every
thing.
pig you see, right?
Yeah, Bob, do you want me to pull up facts for you to show you that armadillos carry leprosy?
Yeah, they do.
No, I don't care. I don't care about armadillos carrying leprosy. I just want to shoot the pigs. That's all I'm about.
There's pigs galore on the property.
No, if you
Really?
could just loop
Oh,
that and
that'd be
send
great,
that to the
man.
benevolent order of police officers before Bob crosses the border, I think we could get Bob a staycation.
No,
There we go.
No.
That's what I shoot
I
pigs.
want to shoot wild
wanna
pigs
shoot
in
pigs.
Texas that are pests.
Oh,
Not-
that's
I'm
not the
sorry,
part.
I just
That's
wanna
not the
shoot
part of the
pigs.
I
video I'm
love and
saying.
respect police officers. They've saved my life several times. The RCMP has been wonderful to me. I like them.
Just
I
like
think
any
that's-
mountain
That's not what you
bike.
said when they weren't going to let you have your firearm, Bob. That's not what you said in the chat.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that, like, God damn it, they could at least, like, get a little faster.
Right here.
Well,
if I
my,
could
my,
stop moving the cam. We came out here
my
at
handgun permit took a stupid amount of time to get because I spelt my name.
All right, go for it, San Antonio.
right about right here. This place was on the Food Channel. It's called Mac and Ernie's. But we came out about 11:30 at night. A group of us, about 4 cars, and this whole entire road right here, hundreds of deer. We had to stop right in the middle of the road, going through this pasture right through here.
Now, were those whitetail, mule deer?
Whitetail.
Yeah, we don't have herds that big here.
No,
All
I'm
right.
talking about massive amounts. I mean, they
All
just
right, how do
they're
I
everywhere.
unmute Bob? What do I got to do to
He
unmute?
has to
Leave
unmute
him
himself.
Leave him muted.
You see all the something.
Hey,
died out
Stan,
there.
you got those big ass jackrabbits too?
I've not seen. I think back in the day they used to have them. Now the only place that's got the jackrabbits I know for sure is actually inside of San Antonio on the Air Force Base.
I was thinking you'd have them a little more further west.
There you
The
go.
Air Force Base, they're crawling. The ones with the big ears, like you see them everywhere on the Air Force Base.
Yeah,
cracked me
Fargo. Yeah, Fargo actually has a huge problem with them right now.
Lackland Air Force Base has them everywhere, but they're kind of west of the city. They're in the city, but they're on the west side.
Well, I just meant like more West Texas even.
Yeah, they've got them. They're just not
Those
a dime a dozen.
those bunnies growing up in the pet store in the Bronx when I was a kid did not look like bugs, and I could not for the life of me figure out why until I
Sure.
moved to Texas. And I go out in my backyard one morning, and the dogs are just sitting there staring at the wall, and on top of the wall is Bugs Bunny eating something, and he's just staring at them. And the dogs
What
and the
you gonna
dogs
do,
are
motherfucker?
the
Jump,
dogs are
motherfucker.
dogs are sitting there, and I'm looking at them, and I'm going, I realize we're all from the city, but even I know that's a rabbit, and they're sitting there.
There
So
they
I'm
are.
like, I'm amazed. So the dog finally, Snugs, takes like one step forward. This bunny launched into this fit like it was like Killer Rabbit, and the dog ran in the house.
Yeah.
Straight up the rabbit from the hare from Monty Python, right?
Is that 5 of them?
Yeah, he's got some more on the other side. There's 5 of them right there. He's got them all hung up by their feet. But that's not the only one. Like I said, there's 2 more, I think, on the other side of the gate, and there was another rancher further down or closer to our property who's got some. They're always hung up. He does, always.
Is that basically just to let the other ranchers know that they're in the area and how how numerous they are?
I'm guessing. Or just, hey, I'm popping coyotes, because most of these guys, like I said, they have antelopes on their property. We're a huge exotic state for exotic game. So we got a bunch of African this and African that.
Ibex and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing it's telling you is, okay, you guys know how far away you have to shoot a coyote from, right? Like, obviously, it's not
far.
It's a long way away, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's also telling me no trespassing, and I'm pretty good at range.
Well, this is Texas. Yeah. I would be worried more towards the border.
I like
because they got people coming across the border, mule and drugs and stuff like that. I don't know if you get popped out here. There's a real good chance. I'd feel more comfortable passing through somebody's property over where I'm at than down south.
Yeah, but you're also the same guy that would probably somehow get permission to cross, right?
Yeah, if I need to go somewhere, I'm not the guy that's going to illegally cross somebody's property and go on that. We got a couple 100 acres. There's no need for it.
Right on.
Oh, you call them Mario's? Okay.
There's our waters.
Crawdads or no crawdads?
Oh, crawdads galore. Right here, though, you can see, I don't know on this one, this isn't the best. Let's find a better one. Let's go back to...
Is that big enough for bass or nah?
Oh, yeah. Finish video.
Crap.
No, I'm not going to adult videos.
Relax.
I'm not going to show that.
Bass with a B. Bass with a B.
Bass, not ass.
They got these massive cypresses where, look at all the fish around.
Oh, yeah, little ones. There you
Yeah,
go.
they'll get bigger, but these are just ones because they stay right there around you.
Right.
You have an underwater camera?
It's a GoPro.
It's a GoPro.
Yeah, it's a GoPro.
Oh. You have money?
Oh, you can save up for stuff.
I'm a single guy that drives an old Xterra that lives in a little apartment that doesn't have a bunch of bills. So when I want to buy something, I can buy it.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just joking.
Oh, smiles.
She brought you a present.
An itchy snail, what? Or no, that was a mussel or a clam, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a clam. The water's normally a little bit clearer, but it's late summer right here, so you're starting to see a little bit more particles, starting to slow down a little bit.
And all I have to say, Dano, if you really want a GoPro, just sell one of those gold coins.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right? Complete deniability, brother.
No shit. Eh?
It's beautiful, though.
How
it's...
many did you get? A couple hundred.
And this is a
That's
GoPro 3. This is the third GoPro. This isn't one of the newer ones. This is the third. So it's 1080. You can get all 1080. At night it sucks, but I'm not filming too much at night, not with that camera.
Well, let me ask you a question. Wherever there's cypress trees, is it warm enough that there can be gators?
No, not here.
Well, no, wait a minute. You could technically have them there. You just don't, right?
Yeah. I've never heard of a gator out there.
Because when I would visit Galveston, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, but I'm in the middle of Texas. That's right smack dab in the middle of Texas. There
Right,
might be.
right.
I mean, it possibly could happen. I don't think it ever has, though.
You
Was
got
the
water
work on
moccasins
it?
down there, or not so much?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, well, then that's. Now, are they the only ones that can bite you swimming?
He left.
Oh shit. Well, I hope he comes back.
Wait, what bites you swimming?
Water moccasins. I think they're the only
Oh.
snake that can bite you while swimming and not drown.
Oh, well. Well, if it wants to go suicidal, I'm more concerned about it biting me.
Actually, snakes have the ability to breathe through their nose.
Yes, but it's also known that most snakes will drown if they try and bite you while swimming. Other than if it's like a sea snake or something like that. That's why I was asking about the water moccasin, because I believe that was one of the only other ones that can bite you while swimming and not drown.
We go tubing. The big thing is tubing down here in the summer, and you'll see them. And I've been going since I was a kid. You know, my parents are. Let's just say they had me extremely young, so I grew up going on the tubing with them while they were drinking, you know, Miller Lights, and you'd see them swimming down the river next to you, and you still will. They're not swimming as much just because we've got a huge population boost, and now everybody wants to go tubing. But back in the day when there was less people, you would see them.
You ever go up
swimming
far
right
enough?
next to you.
You ever go up far north from where you live to like the Guadalupe or anything like that? Because I had a chance to tube down Guadalupe. I like that. That was nice.
That's where we see them. I see them in the Guadalupe, or you see them in the Comal if you go to New Braunfels.
Okay.
Well, are there
The
less
Guadalupe-
because people are trying to hunt them down, or they're
No,
or why are there less?
there's because when you got a river, let's just say you got a river and there's 5 people in there, they got a lot more room. Now when you got a river and the tubes are bumping everybody, you know, they're not going to come out and swim.
It pushes them.
But tubes and people are not like, we're not eating the food that they eat. We're not disturbing their nesting grounds.
Well, it does disturb their
They
nesting
sure are
grounds.
disturbing their nesting grounds, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
going to push it out to more where there's less people. You know what I'm saying? So it's
They're
kind of
still there. They're still there, but they're on the banks. Like the banks are real rocky, and we posted up. Last summer I was dating a chick, and we just posted up for a second to just kind of sit back and relax before it ended. And I put my hand right next to a rock, and I looked inside the rock where I was holding on because the river was, you know, pushing our tubes down, and no more than a foot away was a big old moccasin.
woohoo, woohoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
in that instance, do you draw your hand slowly, or do you take it quick, or do you leave it? What do you do?
Oh, I pulled
What-
it hella quick.
Okay.
It scared the shit out of me. I didn't even notice it right away, like because they're black and they just sit inside the crevices of the rock.
Oh, I
So I
didn't know
pulled
moccasins were black. I assumed they were multicolor.
Well, they're dark.
Kind of like coral snakes are multicolor.
No, they're all solid. They're all solid. It wasn't as black as like a
black mamba.
No, what we used to have when I lived in Alabama, and I came across, I think they called it a king snake. It was a jet black snake that was probably about 6 feet long, and we used to run into those all the time in Alabama. But it wasn't that
They're
black.
rat eaters, though, for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
Which is they do a good job of it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those up in Illinois. They're black. They're out in the cornfields because there's a lot of spillage.
Well, you got corn snakes up there too, and those are huge rat eaters.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a king snake. I don't know. This was huge. It's bigger than any
But
rattler
we
I've
also
ever
have,
seen.
depending on where you're at in the state, but in my area, we have a fair amount of rattlers.
Really? That far
Yes.
north? Wow.
Yeah, they're in the southwest Wisconsin as well.
Oh yeah, they're also. I mean, they're up in the Minnesota.
Yeah, well, that's southwest Wisconsin too.
Well, I mean, but it's further. I mean, it's not just South Wisconsin. It goes further up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Island. The Brewers actually have an expansion team. One of their AA teams or single A. I can't remember what it is, but in Appleton,
Their minor league team.
yeah, their minor league team. Thank you. And they're actually called the Timber Rattlers because Wisconsin has rattlesnakes.
And
They got them upstate New York. I know that. In the Appalachians, my grandparents live in the Appalachians, and they got I think they're Eastern up there, Eastern Diamondback or something.
Yeah,
They got
Eastern Diamondbacks.
and they live smack dab in the Appalachians.
And see, where I'm from, up originally in that Lake Superior area, that we had snakes, but we had the green tree snake. That was like one of the few poisonous ones. Other than that, it was like garter snakes, ribbon snakes, stuff like that.
Pine snakes.
Pine
Sink
snake.
to high heaven.
But never really. Whether it's just the weather or they just hadn't really made it up that far due to maybe natural predation, possibly as well.
It's weather, actually.
It's weather, yeah.
Because it's cold as a motherfucker up there with a lot of snow.
But the thing is, if there's caves and stuff, like, you can go inside these caves and they're blowing, they stay at core temperature.
Yeah.
Up and down.
And there's thousands of them.
Guys, we have rattlesnake here, and it gets to -40 in the winter. So
Yep.
Up and down the
weather here, though.
There are caves from the Civil War all over the place. In Illinois, we have an area where there was a lot of lead, and lead is what you use for cannonballs. And to make it more efficient, they would mine the lead by the river, and that's where all the caves are. And of course, just ship the lead right down to the river, and then take it on down south, where they would then form them into cannonballs. Well, of course, the war came to an end, and you had thousands of these mines all over the place because the government would buy lead from anybody who had it.
So, Dano, how long were you a history teacher?
He's been known to read a book.
Yeah.
I'm just bugging you.
Living life, Bob.
Don't get all butthurt, as like someone else would say.
Yeah, well, you don't see me bringing up, every time somebody, ixnays or doesn't like my country. Well, we were the first to this, and we were the first to that.
But
Well,
what,
actually,
Dano? This
except
is
you
the
weren't.
United States of America, Dano, so you actually could do that if you felt like.
No, actually you can't, because I mean, like, who invented the telephone? Alexander Graham Bell. Where did he invent it? Canada.
You see, it's one of those things, though, Bob. In order to be butthurt, we'd have to care what you say, and we don't. We just care that you say.
I know, and I'm just joking.
Doesn't matter,
I'm
right
not
there.
serious here. I'm not serious here. I don't want to pick on Dano. I mean, I like Dano. I consider him
Do
my
not
friend.
question Dano's veracity or heart. That would be a mistake on your part, my friend.
I do not. I do not question anything about Dano. I think he is exactly what he portrays, and I respect him for that.
Although if you send me a document, I might be willing to sign it.
In blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, Dano,
I
do I have
didn't
I don't have
Yeah,
your
I hear you
email,
say that,
or
Dano, but that's hilarious.
I don't
Because-
have a number to text you, Dano. I have Yankee, but I don't have you. So I have Yankee, I have Edge. I think I got
Hey,
Quark.
thanks,
Yeah, I
Quark.
got Quark.
Thanks for that DNR wiki. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
you're welcome.
Yeah, no, you gotta send me the your text, your phone number so I can text you.
You're breaking up, Bob. I can't hear you. What?
I'm just saying, send me
Breaking up.
me
Can't hear you, Bob.
your text number, and then I can text you, and we can get the script straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that.
Oh, come on! I got Yankees. What, you're
I
better
don't-
than Yankee?
I
You
don't
think
think
you're better
you
than
actually
Yankee?
gave you the right number, though, Bob.
I don't know. Why don't you call Tony and ask him?
Oh, I don't have Tony's either. I should.
You know,
he's so
if you were
anti-union,
bitter,
it's
you
hard.
could give him Tony's number, and then that would
It's
cause
hard.
all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. I sometimes find Tony a little bit hard to deal with because he's very anti-union, and I'm very pro-union, and if I didn't have a union, I wouldn't be retired at 55.
Oh, there you go.
sure-
Robbie has a great point out there. Deer flies and how much they suck.
Oh yeah, we don't have those.
Really?
I've
That's
never
awesome.
had to deal with them.
See, we have horse flies, and they take a bite of skin out of you every time they
They
bite.
leave a hole.
Yeah, they got
And
those
they're
up north.
huge flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get bit up by those, and then actually they call them sand fleas up there. Like because it's just little tiny rivers, and my grandfather lives on a river, and I get bit up by these they call them sand fleas.
Oh
Yep.
no, horse flies are way different. They're
No,
We get horse flies too. They get horse flies as well. He's got horses. He's got a whole barn
Yeah.
full of horses.
Yeah.
No, horseflies just get anywhere that there's.
Yeah,
They're
well,
actually,
They
imagine
don't
going
care
having to feed them.
cows. Yeah, they don't care.
They're
cows.
even worse over there.
Hey,
Well,
Stan, do you have those giant dragonflies like with the tail numbers on them?
Yeah, you see them
Yeah,
around
they're
this
all
time right
black,
here. You'll
right?
see them. You'll
They're
see
all
them
flat
screwing.
black.
They fly around
Yeah.
and they're screwing.
We have just a couple of different sizes of dragonflies out here, and we do have some of the 747s, and then we have some of the little pipers.
Little blue ones,
Yep.
blue and green.
The big ones are like this weird metallic-y. They have like a metallic-y type of skin on them
Yeah.
that sort of is a rainbow colorish thing.
it is kind of cool looking.
Once I learned in a book that their main food source was mosquito larvae, I pretty much stopped messing with any dragonfly ever.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, them and
Like
and
you're
like
you're
birds.
way too beneficial to have around to fuck with.
The only problem is there's not enough of them.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
and wasps. Actually, wasps will kill dragonfly or not dragonfly mosquitoes, then eat them.
But wasps
you know.
also kill bees, and that's bad.
Yeah, and plus they also sting really bad.
That's what pushes the water moccasins, water moccasins away, Dano, right there.
Yeah, that's a good example. And notice the 3 school buses lined up on the side, too, behind that picture of all those tubes.
Well, all these people in suits were tubing. There was some frat. There was a bunch of sorority chicks and frats that were out there that day.
When I went, that was pretty much what
Boy,
was
there's
going
some
on.
girls couldn't really wear a bikini, eh?
Look at that one right there. Boom.
With the pink tube?
No,
Or the one with the orange tube?
Yeah, there were some dimes out there that day.
That's Texas for you. All you got to do is just wait a minute. You'll fall in love again.
Yeah, all these tools out there in full suits tubing because their frat master told them to.
Ted, you want to go? This is the way it's going to be.
Yeah, wear a suit, carry a briefcase, and you're going tubing with a whole bunch of hot girls in bikinis. I'd do it.
Well, then you'd probably be in the frat, Bob.
I would, you know.
And that's
I'd be wearing a Western style leisure suit, but you know.
Oh no, Bob. Then you wouldn't be in the frat then.
When I went to college, that's exactly why I wanted nothing to do with fraternity.
Yeah, suit is a suit as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it had to do with these ridiculous things they have you do to gain entrance to their club. You want to be my friend? Great. But I don't need to get on my knees. I don't need a friend that bad.
Ooh, really? They wanted you to do that?
Oh, wait a minute.
God.
Who got that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone with that frat either. I mean, if they want you to give Hummers to other frat brothers.
Hey, Robbie, out in the chat, was that your leg with all the bites, or was that somebody else you know? Robbie linked a picture out in the chat, and it's like from the foot up, and it's just bites, and more bites.
Oh, chiggers. Yeah, chiggers is a problem that we have that around here too, as well as Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, but it kind of comes and goes depending on where you're at. I believe those are like chigger eggs, I want to say.
There's Bob. We just passed Bob in the river.
Fuck off.
Let's see here. Let me find Bob. I just found him.
I don't see
Where is the
Right
drunk
there in the yellow tube.
Yellow tube? No, I don't
and
have
the
to go with
redneck?
that. And I don't have nearly that tan.
I think I crawled up on her that night. That's
No,
a different story.
You see that the idea is that you have the cooler or the tube with the cooler in it as well.
Oh,
you
yeah.
never really want to be too far from that cooler.
Oh, yeah. Well, you keep it tied to your tube, I would think. I have a tractor tube.
in
It
its
would
own
fit
tube.
like 4 or 5 people. That'd be cool.
And then you go out and you get one of these right here. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Where's your sights? What happens when the scope breaks?
It's underneath, Bob. It's an AK. Can't you tell, dude?
You see
It's
the
right
sights
there.
right there?
Okay, where's the front sight? I can't see the front of the barrel.
It's
That's
a 20-inch barrel. It's too long for you.
Yeah.
You're used to those little short ones.
Is that your 308?
Yeah, that's my
the
308.
barrel on my VZ. I mean, that's a really old video, but my VZ's got like a 22-inch barrel, I think, or
How,
20.
how's that? That
Oh, that's
real
nice.
shoot as far as distance.
I haven't taken it out in distance. I've only taken it out
okay.
a couple hundred yards. Like I said, I can't shoot at that property that I was showing you. Like you saw the little flat part that was on. On the other
Right.
side of that hill, there's this crazy prepper dude, so I can't shoot where I need to shoot now. And if you shoot the opposite direction, there's llamas. This person's got alpaca and all sorts of crap out there, so I'm not going to be shooting towards their property.
Right.
Well, you know, I got the same problem.
That's
This
a
new
good neighbor.
property I'm buying,
That's
it's
a
all
good
flat, but I'm
But
gonna.
it's a nice
do-
shooter. It doesn't shoot like an AK. It's a lot tighter than a normal AK. So
I'm
it's
just
tighter
wondering,
than this.
because it's an AK platform, but in 308, if it's gonna.
It's RPK.
Okay, but if it's going to be able to reach out further than your traditional AK in regards to accuracy.
It's a different round. I can doing your part easily. I can get two MOA groups easily. Now a lot of that depends on what you're shooting through, what ammo, of course, and that same old how it goes.
Yeah.
But if you're shooting lighter stuff, it likes to take 150 grain. It likes to take around like NATO grain stuff. It doesn't like the big old 175s or anything like that. That will open it up. Now this thing shoots like a typical AK because it is.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's
so
funny,
it's
no, I've seen
reliable,
some of
but
those,
it's still
videos
accurate.
like Travis like that.
See, everybody goes on about how the 7.62x39 is not accurate. It is. You can look at CZ makes some bolt action rifles, magazine-fed rifles in that caliber, and they are out to about 300 yards. They're
Well, this has
fucking
got an H1 on it right now.
It's how accurate it is compared to something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can get what do you compare
Well,
the 7.62x39? The 30-30 is about the same ballistically, and yeah, at 300 yards, it's like going nowhere. You can't hit shit.
See, this is the camera at night, Dano. If you want to use this at night, it looks a lot grainier.
What'd you say, Z?
Oh, that Lake Travis stuff. I have not been a part of that, but I've definitely seen some of my friends send me some videos like that.
Yeah.
It's like literally you just go down my driveway, cross the street. It's 150 yards to the marina, and it's like right there.
That
Like
does
Travis?
not suck. Yeah.
We have two restaurants and bars in town, and they do the fireworks display out on the lake. They do it privately, and we were in the pool while they were doing the fireworks show, and the papers and the embers and stuff were like coming down in front of the house.
Yeah, like Travis is legit. Have you been to that nudist beach that they have out in West Austin?
I have not.
They have a little nudist right there on the river somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's right past the Oasis.
Yeah, yeah. I
The
haven't had the
Oasis,
courage to go out there yet, especially now.
the Oasis is all the evidence that you need that you cannot give an Italian too much money.
We'll catch y'all later, guys.
Later.
Aloha.
Oh man, why can't I think of the name of that? It'll come to me.
I can't think of it either. Like one of the guys that was in that video, he went to school out there, and he used to frequent it, left and right. He used to go out there, but he's also got a baby's arm between, swinging. So.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, and not that I'm ashamed of it, but I put on some weight since then. I'm not gonna go some fat bastard out there, go out there.
Hippie Hollow.
Hippie Hollow, that is it. Yep.
So you're saying you don't want to be that guy?
I don't want to be
Not
that
necessarily-
guy.
Oh, I've been known to be that guy.
I'll be the guy with the GoPro on the drone that's hovering over.
There you go.
It's a beautiful area though, especially once you get out there, out west.
I love it here.
They're quite liberal out there. Oh, that's McBurg's. Yeah, am I subbed to this guy? No, I'm not subbed anymore. He does GoPros. He's like a GoPro like master. You know this dude's deaf?
Who?
The guy's videos you're watching. He's deaf, but
Really?
he does all these crazy vids. Behind boats, skiing, and what do they call that? Wakeboarding. He does crazy shit wakeboarding.
One of my friends is a mechanic at a marina, so he's always sending me like links to YouTube channels and videos of like all the crazy stuff, because when he's like literally not at work, he's on the water, and they do all that, parasailing, jet skiing, wakeboarding, all that stuff.
Dude, if you go to 413 in that video, you can see there's hope for Cork yet.
Well, now I gotta look.
Look at the backside of the boat. Well, maybe not 413. Let me go. It's right before 413. Let me pause exactly. At 406, you can see. Just waiting for it. That big old dude's got this little tiny girl on his waist, on his lap. I hear people clicking.
That is not a tiny girl.
Is she not? I haven't really looked that much. She looks a lot smaller than him. I mean, she only got one roll.
I was going to say we're back to that relative thing. Relative to him, she's tiny.
Yeah, I guess so.
I like the way the boat is listing to that side of the platform too.
See, this is not my typical area. There's way too many crackers.
Well, I'm in that funky spot. I'm like, one of the blue dots in the middle of normal people. So it's a bizarre mix.
Yeah, that's how it is down here. I mean, I'm more of a minority down here. Damn, that girl is a dime.
All right, I'm back. What girl?
Link posted.
Sexy ladies at Devil's Cove.
Many common travel activities can put you at risk for hepatitis A and hepatitis B, which is why you plan on talking to your doctor.
If you hang out with Bob, hepatitis C.
Plan on talking to your doctor.
I wish we'd get some rain. That's the only problem with a lot of this.
We've had more so far this year than I think the last 2 years.
Yeah, we've been getting quite a bit. But that green belt, you ever go out to the green belt?
Yeah.
Dude, that's beautiful out there. We used to drive up to Greenbelt every weekend and hang out, but it's been bad these past couple of years.
What's really nasty about it is Travis is about 52 feet low from where it should be. I mean, it's actually come up some, but there is a massive temperature difference because it used to be like 18 degrees cooler at my house than it was by the time I got into town, which is like 18 miles away. Well, not town, but when you leave my town, then next population is about 18 miles away, and there was anywhere from 12 to 20 degrees difference. And now with the lake level so low, it's not like that anymore. So it's way hotter here than it was when I first got here.
How many years have you been here?
9.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's changed. This whole era, even when I was a kid, has changed. I mean, like, we used to have 103, 105 a couple times, and now, like, it would stay, like, 97, 98 degrees, and now it's just, like, boom, 105 for a month straight.
And it does not bother me in the least. I can take the heat is actually not a problem. It was 82 today, and I loved it.
Yeah, I wish I was out. I sleep all day. It's nice now. It's going to start, like I said, getting so friggin' hot, though. I don't even like going out to the property when it's that hot because all that white rock just reflects short trees. It's just a squelch, just breathing.
Some of that limestone is like seriously bright too. The sun hits it, and it's almost like a mirror.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And that one video where I'm actually hanging up, that's why I go up into the hills, because I can actually hang. There's some bigger trees in the flat parts of it. You'll see some oaks and stuff like that, but it's flat. But you see all that white rock, and it bounces right back. If you go up into the hills, all those little needles and all that, you'll see I won't even call it soil, I'll just call it debris. Kind of blocks a lot of that.
I like that. I just got stoled. That just got stoled, rather. Because what we have around here is definitely not dirt, and it's not soil, it's debris.
Yeah, pretty much. It gets blown away before I guess it can decompose. I don't know how that whole thing works. It's like try burying a body out here. You're only going to be able to dig about half an inch.
I mean, here, if you want to lay on the ground, you just got to make sure there are no frickin' acorns.
They toss them all in the lake here. When the drought first hit and the lake level went down, like every week that it went further down, they would recover like a car with a body in it, a missing person. It was great. I'm like, for the first year, it was cool.
Oh yeah. Well, you know where Canyon Lake is at, right? Southwest of you, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Down there, they've got like houses. When I was a kid, I used to have my parents' buddy used to go down there and dive, and there's houses down there. When they built that lake, they didn't even try to knock anything down. They just went ahead and filled it up.
We have the opposite now. We have houses for sale that say lakefront on them, and they're just dried up tributaries because the lake level's low, and half of the people didn't even bother like to pull up their docks or boats or anything. So it's literally just these like green valleys with abandoned boats and docks in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about that when they did the when they dammed the Kentucky River, I mean Tennessee Lake. They didn't bother doing any of that either. They just let all the houses and buildings. You go boating on there, and you'll see the tops of these buildings sticking up.
Well, look, this is Medina Lake. This is by our property. Let me see if I can. I'm going to have to screen share and show you exactly what he's talking about. It is horrible here. It is the worst here that I've seen. Entire screen, share.
Well, I remembered seeing it in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, so I know that was what the Tennessee Valley Authority, though, when they did that one. And it was a movie. Yeah,
this whole lake right here, all these big sections used to be filled up with water.
Wow.
And now look.
And it's dry.
All these are completely dried up, and now you'll start to see docks.
Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, but it isn't global warming because George W.
Look at all these docks.
No way, man.
look at the water level. Look at all the docks.
A lot of conservatives are saying, there's no way it's global warming, and I'm like, oh, fuck that, man. It was above zero in January in Saskatchewan. That is not right.
No. about 5 years ago when Lake Michigan water levels were down, we were having a drought here.
Yeah.
There was a famous shipwreck in the Fox River, and Ireland knows where the Fox River is.
Absolutely.
That they're actually worried about because of the wreck was now above the surface of the water. They were worried about decay and everything else, because it was a preserved site.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was
The water.
Well,
3/4 above the water.
And
yes,
yet,
as
and yet,
oxygen hits it, it's
and
toast.
yet
Yeah.
the ocean levels are going up all the time. And right now they're going
It
up
has nothing to do,
25%
Bob, I
faster than
swear.
they thought they would.
It
So
has
that
nothing
means
to do with the polar ice cap melting, Bob. I promise you.
It's
Oh
a
no, the
Greenland
polar
ice
ice cap. No, actually, we got more ice in the South Pole. I think it's got to do with the sun is producing more energy. And
Actually, I was being a smartass. It does have a lot to do with the polar ice cap melting.
do you know that we actually get water from space too? That's no shit. That's for real.
Things learned with Uncle Bob.
Right? Mr. fucking Wizard.
Yeah, we get
I
water.
know about shit. I'm sorry. I've had a lot of time to learn shit.
Speaking
I
of
use a
Mr.
lot.
Wizard, I don't know if you guys seen this video. I came across this.
Just let me put it to you this way. We get water from the space in the form of comets that come and crash into the Earth.
Actually, there's molecules of hydrogen and oxygen floating in space, and they join when they hit our atmospheres, and it actually adds water to our biosphere. Yes, it does. Go check it out.
I'm laughing at what Spurs got up there because I remember watching the shit out of some Mr. Wizard as a kid.
What the hell is Mr.
Wizard?
The thing is, like, you have to listen to it. He's like, nope, you're wrong. And I'm trying to think if it's Mr. Wizard still a dick or Mr. Wizard's a dick. One of these is just hilarious.
Well, I'll tell you.
I think Mr. Wizard was probably a closet alcoholic, and he really didn't like dealing with kids as much as he had to.
Do you know what?
Could you picture Mr. Wizard and Mr. Rogers banging him back at a bar after a long day at work?
I think
the clown comes in.
Mr. Wizard or Mr. Rogers would throat punch Mr. Wizard when he got out of fucking line.
We had
I
a
totally
Mr.
see that
Dress Up.
fucking happening.
We had a Mr. Dress Up who had a tickle trunk that he would open and he'd make.
Oh, okay, that's disgusting, Bob. Let's
Oh,
stop.
yeah.
That.
In the tickle
That would
trunk,
not be
Whatever,
allowed today on television. Times
Yeah,
are different
that
from
is
the 1800s.
he had
Man.
like costumes and stuff so they could do dress up.
It was
That's why it
all
was called Mr.
okay
Dress Up.
for people to marry a 14-year-old, adult male to marry a 14-year-old in the 1800s.
That's still going on today in South America.
Oh
Yeah.
In Ecuador, to be exact.
And in a where the hell Arabs come from? Arabia. You know, that part of the country, the hot, dusty part that nobody wants, but everyone wants the oil.
The Middle East.
Full of crazy people. Yeah, the Middle East. That's it. Yeah, fuck, man. I wish I could have remembered that. Old age sucks, man. The only good part is the police trust me completely because they go, "Oh, he's an old guy. He's fine."
No, they don't. They take one look at you and go, "Why isn't he in prison?"
Oh, hell no, man. Cops like me. I got stickers on my car, support the local police. Yeah. Hey. And I'm white, so that's like...
Well, that's what gang members should do then, is put a whole bunch of support the police stickers on their car. They won't get pulled over.
Well, and they've got to be white, right? Because if you're not white, the cops are still going to beat your ass.
They can drive around with whiteface on, like, what's that, that movie called Bad Girls or...
Oh, God,
White
yeah, do you remember
girls,
that?
white
Oh,
girls.
fuck, that was funny. I've never seen anything like that. I could not believe they could actually do that. And get away with it. Can you imagine if somebody tried to do that with blackface?
They do that, and then they bust him out on the news.
Call the brain.
Yeah.
Oh, what 80s movie did that, where the kid couldn't get into college, but he got into college as a minority?
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, the 80s were the last of that. After the 80s, they stopped doing that shit.
Yeah, he took some sort of drug that was supposed to tan your skin.
Was it C. Thomas Howell, Soul Man?
I
Yes.
think it was
Yeah,
Soul
Soul
Man.
Man. Yep,
Oh,
that's
man.
it.
That was funny.
Thanks for that one, Spur, because that brought back memories. I forgot how much of a dick he was.
Oh yeah, the other one. I
Use your
forgot which
brain.
one it is. I think there's Mr. Wizard Still a Dick. That one of those was really funny. I watched them both, but one of them was funnier than the other one.
Well, like I say, I mean, we had Mr. Dress Up here, but like you look at that show, what tells that TV show called Big Bang, and they have this professor that comes back that that they book for a party, but it's two adult guys going, "Oh, we used to watch as a kid," blah blah blah, and the Mr. Professor was what the oh God, he was a big TV star.
Use your
shit.
words, Bob.
Pardon?
Use your words, Bob.
I'm trying to, but I can't think of his goddamn name. He's
Vocabulary is
right
different
there,
when you
right
get your
there.
education from somebody named Mr.
You
Dress
guys-
Up.
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys
Good God.
know.
That's spooky,
You guys
actually.
know who this guy is, right? He had a TV show where he ran a hotel in Vermont. Very
Bob
dry
Newhart?
humor. Pardon?
Bob Newhart?
Yes, perfect. Oh, that's exactly the name. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but yeah, Bob Newhart.
Did what?
I can't remember what I was talking about now.
Sweet. Then that means you want to stop talking.
Chirp, chirp, chirp. Well, I'll tell you what. Can't wait to get down there and see you guys, like in person. Well, at least the ones that are around. The Hawaiian guy, not going to happen.
The Austin guy, not going to happen.
You ain't gonna see me because I moved. I used to live by Asia, and I moved about 30 minutes across town. So,
you know what? I'm going to have the whole winter to just drive around in my trailer and
he's going to track you fuckers down.
Ed said you could stay at his house.
Yeah.
Oh hell, like Edge. I have no problem with. Like Edge and I would get along great. And Murphy offered to loan me an AR to go shoot pigs, and I'm like, cool, man. But I'm gonna bring my VZ down just because it's more fun.
Those damn things are down. I saw a VZ for like $370 the other day or something like that.
Oh no, they're getting dirt. You know what? Not here. Not here.
Yeah.
Here they're over $1,000.
That's crazy.
You saw the 2008, not the VZ58.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's the difference between the two of those?
One's newer.
Much more.
Okay, so I'm a smartass, but that was a
But it's
dumbass
still-
response.
No, really.
It's a milled aluminum receiver. It weighs next to nothing. The magazines weigh next to nothing.
I think he's
Man,
talking
it's
about
just
the
an amazing
58,
rifle.
not the 2008.
It loads off a stripper clip. You can use SKS stripper clips on it, so you don't even need to buy a bunch of magazines.
That's the thing
Well,
is,
that's
I was
the thing,
looking
man.
at magazines. They were expensive. They were on the more expensive side, I should say, for that. For that
And hard to
2000.
find usually.
Yeah, well, I pay $38. I got 10 of them at $38 a piece. So.
You can bring those across the border, can't you?
Oh hell yeah! And then I can drill the rivets out.
Well, you might need to make a stop by my house. I need to get a new. The transmission's going out on that Nissan, so I'm about to get a new vehicle here soon. But after that, it's back to toys.
There you go.
I had Dodge, man. I've had my Dodge 2500 for 10 years. I've replaced a clutch in it and one hub. I mean, that's pretty good because I've beat on this thing, man.
Well, I couldn't pass it down. I bought that thing. It had 100,000, 102,000 miles. I bought it for $2,500.
Oh, that's
So-
a deal.
Good deal. That's a good. I paid 16 grand for my Dodge.
Yeah, I couldn't pass it up.
Years old.
Wow, you got a Dodge for like 160 American. That's amazing.
Oh, here you go. DB made a point about the VZ58 and the CZ and the VZ 2008. He goes, one is a Century Arms parts kit and one is a CZ gun.
Oh,
The 58 is the redeal. The 2008 is the parts kit with, U.S. barrel and etc. Thanks, DB. Why don't you come on in here and quit being such a little motherfucker like that?
He likes to be like that because it makes him feel big.
Oh, whatever.
There's only one Gun Channel's elitist allowed per chat.
Well, who is that?
We've already got Ian. Yeah. God, I love this Blackhawk, man. It is the coolest fucking gun.
Bob, could you say that one more time slowly?
Blackhawk. Blackhawk.
You love it?
I do. I think it's just the coolest. It's actually, I prefer it to my Browning for just going and punching holes in paper.
He
Do you
likes
think he had-
black hogs.
No, I don't think that's what he said. I think it ended with a K and an S.
Black Hawks. Black
Oh,
Hawks. Single
oh.
action revolvers, you know.
See, it sounds totally
God,
different when you enunciate
you know what?
that, Bob.
You know what? It's really weird that you keep, I guess channeling Yankee onto me, and I really don't appreciate it because Yankees.
I don't even. What does that mean, Bob?
I'm not even sure what that means.
Yeah, well, Bob has admitted
Yankees
to.
always like
Am I
Yankees
like
always on about
am I
the
a
black
spirit
cops he
medium
likes
where
and
I
all
can
that.
channel someone's mentality? Am I a spirit medium where I can channel or something?
Yeah.
What are you
Well,
saying?
I think you're
Do I have
channeling
ESP
Yankee,
or something?
and even though he's alive, well, we don't really know that for sure. He could just be a.
He admitted that he likes bears and antifreeze and
Oh, he's scared of
aluminum
bears.
pots.
He's scared of antifreeze. He's scared of a lot of stuff except black cocks. He likes those. He said that live on, online.
He hasn't said it as many times as you have this evening, though, Bob.
I
Not
don't
to mention
like
the fact
black
that we were
like
talking
black
about
hawks.
we were
The
talking
gun.
about you when we were
Black
talking
Hawk.
about the aluminum pots.
Yeah, that's how they flavor. They don't need what are they? Those
You
drops, those water
You
drops.
guys can be such assholes sometimes, but that's probably why I like hanging out with you. It's like hanging out with my family.
Except
don't
we
lay that on us,
hate you
Bob.
less.
Come on now.
Oh,
Yeah, except we
seriously,
hate
man.
you slightly less.
You guys remind me of my family. I mean, my sister has just got a cruel sense of humor.
Notice a pattern.
That's
What?
because she had to let you live, Bob, growing up. That's why she's
You know
just
what?
cruel.
She tried to kill me twice. I swear to God. She tried to drown me once, and then the other time she tried
Somebody should let her
Only
know that aluminum
twice?
poisoning is not fast or reliable.
I'm going to say this: only twice. I mean, she is an angel.
to. Yeah, right.
Twice that he knows of. That's
Well,
it.
exactly.
Twice
I mean, there's
knows
other
of.
times I spent months in hospital for whatever reason, no reason at all. I'm pretty sure something
Third floor?
happened. Yeah, poison. No, I'm just kidding. My sister is a saint, and she's better looking than the Yankees. Although I would like to get a hold of Yankees'
Whoa.
sister. She is
Oh,
single.
damn! I
Oh.
would like to get a hold of my sister, Bob.
You like-
Yankee sister,
you
Yankee
said
sister,
your
not
sister's
my
better
sister.
looking.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my sister's better looking, but I'll settle for Yankee sister. 'Cause, well, she's actually kind of cute and
Yeah,
tall.
I told
and,
him that. I told him if she wanted a young stud, and he said something she'd rip me alive or eat me alive or something like that.
yeah, he gave me the same answer. Yeah.
Oh, it
It's
ended up
like,
with you being dead somewhere. Definitely.
No, seriously. I mean, I don't think she's as crazy as he says. And even if she is, it's like, well, I'm old already. I don't care. I'll have a fun ride, though. Oh, God, did I say that live?
Are you ready for tits?
As a matter of fact, yes, we are, DB. So why don't you get in here?
Yeah, come on, DV. Come show us your tits. Did you just get them installed, or you're partway through your transition?
Man, Bob, it's like you talk about not talking about shit, and then all of a sudden you just go to full shit talking mode.
What? I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about DB and his transition. We
Bruce
shouldn't
Jenner.
make this secret, right? It should be okay for a guy to become a woman. He
All I
shouldn't
wanna know
have
is-
to hide it.
DB, have you had any scotch or whiskey this evening? That's all I want to know.
I hope he has. He's coming.
I'm waiting for a good guy to get in here so I can yell
Okay.
at him some more.
We're talking
Okay.
before you can make him get off a line.
Did you do that last night? Did you make Chris
Oh, that's
take
tight.
off?
Huh?
Did you make Chris take off last night?
No, he came right back. I apologized for being a dick. He tried to ride to that
I
woman's
can't imagine you apologizing.
I
That's the
will
hard
save
part.
her.
I really can't imagine you apologizing for anything.
I
Were you in a
apologized to you when I said Canada was a bunch of cowards. Remember that?
Well, they are.
Bunch of cowards.
Remember
And,
when
I mean that kind of statement's just so obviously wrong. You just go, yeah, whatever.
No.
All I gotta say about Canadians, they don't even take their guns to the mall.
You know what? The funny
I
thing
haven't
is,
heard
in
that.
Canada, we have the highest reputation of any military force in the world.
Oh boy.
Well,
Here we
it's
go.
One can have a
kind of easy to
reputation
do when
in
your
many
military
things,
force
Bob.
is, 3 people.
Our special forces are actually thousands of people, and they're actually on the ground fighting ISIS. Where's the Americans? Oh, wait, they only fly
Yeah,
above.
Americans aren't fighting ISIS. It's the
Oh
Canadians.
my
Only with
God!
airplanes.
Let the
They don't
games
have
begin.
troops on the ground.
That's because
You know what?
Canada doesn't have any airplanes.
Did
Not
you
even
guys see the
tolerating that
Canadian
for a fucking
version
second.
of? I'm
We
sorry.
sent a 6-pack, and they're bombing ISIS every day.
Did you guys see the
Not
Canadian
putting up with
version of
You
Fury?
depleted your whole Air Force sending a 6-pack over there.
Oh God.
Did you guys see the Canadian version of that movie Fury?
One of them.
No.
It's 3 Canadians sucking each other's dick in a fishing house on the lake. It's crazy, dude. And then it's so fucked up.
That makes me want to go get it right now.
They're
You know
ice
what?
fishing
I think
and they're
I'm
giving each other blowjobs.
when I come down to visit, I'm just
It's called Fury, the Canadian.
to pull your sweater over your head and like beat the crap out of you.
Dude, I will leave you toothless, dude. Then I.
Oh, really? You wouldn't have a
You
fucking
going
chance, you big goof.
Whatever, Bob. I don't know what dream world you're living in. He's got age and size on you.
I'm just
Doesn't
kidding.
matter.
I'm just
How
kidding.
tall are you, Bob?
Doesn't matter. I mean, I'll break his knee in the first kick, and then after that, he's on the ground, and I'm just gonna stomp him.
His knees are still good.
Doesn't
I can't
matter.
wait.
You kick a knee when it's at the right point, and it'll just break backwards, and the fight's over. Right? The guy does not want to have anything.
Just so you
Oh,
know,
Bob,
in
Bob,
Georgia
yeah.
where he lives, he has a carry license. Do you?
I don't carry
Doesn't
that.
matter, man. Once I move to the States, I'm going to get an Iowa. Is it Iowa?
Yeah, you don't even know, Bob.
No, I don't, but I have it written down somewhere.
You're going to
And I
Iowa.
go and I get a license there, and because of reciprocity or whatever it's called,
Bob, you got eczema.
I can carry the gun anywhere pretty much in the States or
I've
most
got-
of them. So I'll just carry my
Oh.
little 357 Magnum and the Ruger Blackhawk, because I want something small. And then
Silver's
if
gonna lose
making
time.
it
if I
all
miss
bar-
with if I miss with the 5 rounds, I can always beat him to death with it. But I won't have to. I mean,
I thought I
he'll
was
be
going
laying
to
there
buy
with a
you a beer. Now I'm getting beat to death.
So,
Yeah.
so tell us, Compact Canuck, how many beers can you have and still climb up on the ladder and stand on one leg long enough to kick DB in the shins?
Oh, please. He's like 6 foot. I'm 5'8". Oh, whoopee.
Oh,
You know
I
who
don't
else
care
is
about that.
5'8"? Bruce Lee.
I don't want to fight, dude.
He's gonna give you a drink on the
First
top
thing
of
was
his
funny.
I
penthouse.
haven't had a,
Top
I
floor of
haven't
his
had a
penthouse.
fist fight. I haven't had a fist
No,
fight.
I
since
don't
20
really
years.
want to beat you up, DB. I'm only just like,
Just wants to
I'm
beat
buying
you
you a
up.
beer, dude. You name it. Molson Ice or whatever.
Molson
Smoke.
Ice.
I
don't
don't
think
care.
they sell
Whatever
that in
you
Georgia.
drink, whatever you drink, I'll drink. I mean, I'm not picky.
I guess I'll get a dog. What is it? Dogfish head? Dog head fish? I
IPA?
like that. Yeah, IPA is good.
Whatever.
I
I've
like
been-
me that.
Lately, I've been drinking this Negro beer.
What?
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh,
Seriously?
God.
Hands up! Don't
He's been
chat.
muted for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bob!
Here's
You get
the
the corner,
Came
Bob.
back from a time machine and shit.
Oh
told-
God.
I've been drinking this.
Guys.
I've been drinking this bleep 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 beer.
Zombie
God.
Master Ale.
Oh, he's definitely drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh God.
What kind of beer is that? Oh, the Medulla, Modelo. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Modelo. That's Mexican beer, dude. That's not.
Yeah, my friend loves that shit.
But it says Negra. To me, that spells Negra, and then Modelo. Negra Modelo. It's dark beer.
Oh, okay.
Once
you guys
again,
get all,
all
like,
the
cranked
benefit
about
of
that?
getting your education from Mr. Crossdresser.
Yeah, at least you didn't pull out a Colt.
Oh, seriously. I mean, you guys go, oh,
He's
it's
right.
going to be a
He's right.
racist. And I'm just like,
He's
no, that's
right.
what the beer says. It's
Well, when
Negra
you- when you-
Modelo.
When you compare it to what normally comes out your mouth, we expect something like that.
Well, and that's not even.
That's just because
really
you're
how
not
you say
like
it.
you're not
That's okay.
God.
Yeah. He's
onward,
Canadian. We'll give you a
God-fearing.
pass on that one.
Can you
Decent
believe Bob
people
is a
give people
spokesperson for
second
gun
and third
channels?
chances.
Bob is a
There you
spokesperson
go.
for gun channels.
There you go. We'd be shut down like in.
That is such a sin.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not true, and I'm pretty sure that the advertisers love me. Hey, I don't tell you, I figured out what show they asked me to be on, and then I said, like, no, because I have a little shoulder surgery. They wanted to
Django,
bushcrafters.
Django Unchained 2.
Extreme Alaska Challenge.
Naked and
They
Afraid.
get teams,
Yeah.
and they get
Mostly
backpacks, and then they
afraid.
have to fucking walk across
he-
Alaska.
I thought he was going to be in Django Unchained Part 2. He was gonna be the main villain on that shit.
Hey,
No,
Bob, I gotta,
I got offered to interview for the film company. I told them no, but it
Why
was
don't you do it?
one that does Jersey Wives and Pawn Stars, and now they're doing this Alaska. Well,
Oh.
they just sourced the talent, but
Trailer
they
Park
went
Adventures.
online. They went and looked online to find these people. So like
Trailer
people with
Park Farm.
bushcrafting channels and shit. That's who's
Instead of
on the
Trailer
challenge.
Park Boys, Trailer Park Bob.
Trailer Park Crap.
I
You know
will
what?
give
I'm
you
not
the
going to
link.
live in a trailer park. I'm going to live on my own chunk of land. So
With his sister.
You're going to
No,
be
she's-
sharecropping it.
my sister and my brother-in-law are going to live in the other house about 800 yards away. So
Okay.
That's going to be
Hopefully
too
you'll be
close for
sharecropping.
comfort.
no, it isn't. We got a big line of bushes in between us. You can't even see our places from each other.
He
Yeah, but they
might
might
get,
still be able to hear you.
he
Well, I
might
don't
get
care about that.
might get upset that she's getting double satisfied.
Right?
Sorry,
Keep it in the family.
The family.
you guys are sick, man. Seriously,
I'm
you guys.
sick.
Yeah,
You know
that's
that,
just
man.
disturbingly.
And you know this.
Bob's his own grandpa.
He's,
Yeah.
his,
I don't think
he's
so.
his daddy uncle.
We don't live in the Ozarks like Yankee.
Oh, did you guys see Artisan Tony's new video?
Oh
No,
God.
Unfortunately, I did not. I unsubbed him the other day.
No,
unfortunately.
I haven't never subbed him to begin with. Does he
Oh,
show
did a video
dedication?
for that. This shit was so funny.
Did he show some heart?
Oh yeah, he talked about his heart.
Dedication to the cause.
Good.
He
Well,
said,
that's
"This is my heart, man. This shit is it's ready, man. It's ready.
Don't tell
His
me what
heart's
to
ready
think.
for it."
Don't tell me what to think.
Yeah,
Don't come here and tell me what to think.
he
There's a
said
new
that
sheriff in his town, and his
he's gonna do a
name
chat.
is Reggie
I
Hammond.
want to try to join. I like him. I think he's a nice guy. But
Rifle
he said he's going to
dynamics.
do chats again. He kind of dissed
I
us though. He's like
I
the
don't
other
have a
people
problem with
chat.
Tony. He's a little weird, but I
He
mean,
said the other people chat and chat and chat, and if you want to do that, you can go chat with those types of people who just chat and chat. You know, we don't do shit. But,
Yeah, that's why I'm here, because I want to chat with people with fellow common interest.
chat, exactly. Oh, did you guys see Remington is no longer going to make the they closed down the Para USA brand as the double stack 1911s and shit. They're
Like the Warthog and all that?
like all of it, the entire line, the whole
Yeah.
brand.
handy rifles closed down their single shot rifles. They're not going to be able to get handy rifles anymore.
It's weird. Remington is moving to, I forgot where they're moving, but when they're moving to a new factory, and Para USA is now closed.
Well, that's what
Remington
happens when
has
you get one
huge-
company one company buys out all these gun companies. That's what's going to continue to happen.
Remington has huge financial problems too, and they're going to get worse.
I don't trust their shotguns anymore, which is sad.
Is that the same pitfall that happened in the Colt, other than they don't own a lot of companies, but aren't they still in financial straits?
Well, Colt's problem specifically was that they managed their debt in more the way that a smaller business would manage their debt, and so they have bonds coming due. Remington's problem is the cost of this Model 700 recall.
Oh, which is like millions of dollars, yeah.
They're at the actual Wall Street level. There's huge bickering back and forth as to what the cost of this is going to be.
Could it be even a B instead of a million? Could it be a
No.
billion? No.
Put
What?
400 in front of the B.
400 billion?
Okay.
Wow.
Well, here's the problem: is like the company's so complex that nobody can get a real good indication. And so what you have is you have an internal analysis, and then you have to have external impartial analyses too. And you have a combination of these things. So people are arguing this like astronomical range of numbers, like, oh, it's only going to be like $6. Oh, it's only going to be like $60 trillion. And so there's a lot of up in the air about what the actual cost of this recall is going to be.
Is that going to put them into bankruptcy, you think?
It's real hard to say. Generally speaking, if you're accruing for something like that and it's not an actual cost issue, it won't necessarily do it. It depends on how deep it is. But there's a lot of variables, and actually the scary part about it is one of the biggest variables is they have to do their economic models based on the number of units affected, but there is such a wide scope of people out there that are just not going to take advantage of this recall. I mean, they'll put Timneys in, they'll put whatever other triggers in. They won't send their guns back. So that's a huge unknown there, and that's another one of the big complications. But you can see before this SHOT Show, they got that guy that was on Yeager's show, Billy Bertzel, I think is his name, or something like that.
Remington Defense, right?
Yeah, they're making Remington Defense part of the civilian market now. And they're just, it seems that this Bertzel guy is spearheading the public face of it, but they have a huge PR push on right now. Huge.
That's crazy. Well,
Well, you know what? Like a couple of years ago, people started talking about how garbage their fucking shotguns were getting. Like if you went and bought like a 870 Express, expect it to break. Like that kind of talk on the forums and stuff. And I was like, what the?
Whereas previously it was bulletproof, basically. Before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Colt's going to sell a shitload of rifles here soon. I know we're not talking about Colt. Colt was brought up, but with that stripped-down model they're going to be selling, I saw a 20-inch Colt for $860 or something with Magpul furniture.
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
I mean, Colts are just dropping in price, so they're going to probably sell a large amount, I would suspect.
Check it out before Christmas. I know DB and I both had talked about it. They had the deal on the Colt 1911.
Yeah, with the rebates.
Yeah, dude. Like all of a sudden, didn't it get down to like $600 something?
The rebate, yeah.
They got cheaper than that for their regular model. I think it was $599. Well, I guess $600. Yeah, $599 is what I saw with the rebate.
I never heard.
Good thing about a company
1911 for that. I've never heard of that.
A good thing about a company like Colt is they don't make a shit ton of products. I guess the bad thing is they lost their contract with the military a few years ago. FN took their contract.
Yeah.
And that probably fucked them up too.
I thought FN only did part of it. Like Colt was still doing part and FN was doing part.
Well, I think the FN is completely the M4 contract. 100%. And then like, I don't know what Colts. They still got rifles out there, I'm sure, in service, but
yeah.
And they don't make a shit ton of products, so maybe they should streamline their shit. Bring the fucking Python back or something. I don't know.
They're not going to. There's no plan for that. Somebody asked them.
They can't.
I was going to say they've done, I think that I know of, 2 cost analysis of what it would take to bring the Python back in relatively close quality to its original thing, and they were just like, no, let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think I saw one of those too, and it's like almost the same price new as what they're going for used now. Like, if you get a Python for what, $2 or $3 grand, does that sound right?
I've seen it for 14. Yeah.
Okay, so I thought one of the things I saw were that's what they would have to charge.
Yep. I'd pay 14 for a new one.
I would, but I think they were talking more towards 2 to 2+.
Yeah, no, can't do it.
And that's what I was saying. I'm like, man, that would be awesome, but no. Huh.
I mean, I'd have to save up for just even for one for 14, but just the simple fact that you got a Python, that for me, that's kind of That's kind of cool.
I knew a
That's
guy
fun.
had one of those Vipers. They were the 22 caliber version. Oh, it was a beautiful gun.
So
Well, the
yeah,
Cobra, the Diamondback, all of those were good-looking guns. Don't get me
I
wrong. I'm not saying they're not gorgeous. They are full on.
I loved my King Cobra. I thought that gun. I had a stainless 4-inch King Cobra. I thought that was awesome.
oh god, I bet
Oh, that would be a
What
monster.
else happened today?
that'd be awesome. 2015 is going to be the year of cheap Colt AR-15s, and I think the CZ pistol. I think everybody and their sister is going to have one of those.
No, not me. I don't like
I won't have either.
I think I'm gonna end up with an AK by the end of the year, some form.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess the AK too, because everybody's got AK. Everything I saw at SHOT Show is a AK variant or AK parts or.
Well, the ammo is so cheap, and it is a good ammo for a prepper in the point that it's not made so much to wound as to kill. Whereas, military ammunition, you wound a guy, it takes 3 guys to look after him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched that the Jim Fuller interview on Lola, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one in the chamber.
You know what sounded really good? He was like, I'm going to do a regular AK, sort of just like either with wood stocks or whatever, this standard gun. It's going to be right at around 1,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that would be sweet. If you
She
could,
said cheap, and then she took the cheap back, and she said like inexpensive or whatever, or value price.
Yeah, higher. But that
at
puts
least
it
to
on
compete with
Arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
That puts
yeah.
it on Arsenal. The thing is, there's going to be a demand for it, and how many can they pump out?
Yeah.
Even though they're moving to a bigger facility, he said there's still a smaller, smaller company.
And it might be that because they can't produce, the price might jump up like it does on anything, right?
Novetzky is Rifle Dynamics.
Yeah, remember when they first remade Thunderbirds? When first redid the 2-seat Thunderbird?
You mean the
Yeah,
movie
people
with Bill
were paying
Paxton?
I thought you were talking about Thunderbird wine.
Oh, God.
No, I'm talking Thunderbird fucking cars, you dick.
I'm done with AKs for right now. I think I'm going to redo mine again. I'm going to redo it completely, though. Get it refinished and all that.
See, and that's the thing. I want one of those Vepr and 54R, and technically it's an AK, but it's not.
No, it's not. I'm leaving that one alone. I'm talking about my Sega, my converted Sega that I did.
Like I watched that chat, and he started talking about Mac 90s and how good those guns were and stuff.
They are.
And then I just started. I was like right on Gunbroker, like looking around, like oh shit, because I had a chance a few years ago to get a mint condition Mac 90 for like $600.
That's a good price. I would have jumped on it. Mac 90s are nice rifles.
Yeah. It doesn't have a bayonet lug, but I guess they can add that shit. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
BB doesn't jump on hardly anything.
And that's why my Sega doesn't have one, but I'm not a purist when it comes to that. I got that rifle to use. I don't have any safe queens. I got them all for in case something happens, and a bayonet lug on my AK is not going to make any difference.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I like having a bayonet on my VZ. It's kind of nice because after you run out of ammo, you can stab the zombies.
Yep. I got knives for that.
I didn't really know much. I didn't know you could take that thumbhole stock off real easy.
I don't want to get that close.
Oh, well, relatively so, yeah.
Those Veprs are going to go up in price, too.
I know. And it's like, I trying to save that money for that TRR8, dude, and every time, I just get a little closer, and then all of a sudden I'll see something else go on sale. I'm like, no. And then, all of a sudden, when I think I'm getting close to having the money for it, then there's nothing in stock anywhere. So,
well, before they started importing them, I'm not talking about this time. I'm talking about the Robinson Arms when they imported them a few years back. Between that time and the very first, the early '90s Veprs, I used to see them. I remember seeing them going for a couple $1,000. I was just a kid, but my mom was staying with some friends of ours, and he was a huge rifle collector. And I remember him telling me, he's like, AKs, he's an old set guy. Oh, AKs are shit, blah, 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 blah. But if I had to get an AK, I'd get this. And they were going for thousands back then. Thousands. And I don't see them making the Beppers over here. I think they're going to be making the Segas over here, but I don't foresee anytime soon making Beppers.
See, and that was one of my things. Is we were talking about it when we first saw the thing come up at SHOT. I'm like, well, maybe I wait, and I see what they're going to do if they're going to make a 54R. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, they're not going to make that. They're not going to make that for years.
Yeah.
They're not going to make that.
No.
They might eventually add that to the catalog out here, but they're not going to make a 54R semi-auto anytime soon.
They made a Dragunov, that would be mint. If they made the Tiger, if they made that's the Sega version, they call it Tiger over there, which is the hunting Dragunov style. If they made that, that would make more sense. They would sell out of that quicker than they'd make a Vepper,
And what do you think they're going to sell that for? That ain't going to be 900. That ain't going to be 1200. That's going to be
no. That's 16 easily. 16, 18.
18.
Yeah.
And probably selling out at that too, though. To be honest, I mean, I hate to say it, but
no, they would. But I'm holding on to my Vepper. I got the square back, so I got happy when I saw that the square backs were coming through. I jumped on that with the quickness.
Way better than the slant. I mean, granted, like Carolina Shooting Sports, I know you've used their webpage because I see you have some of their products.
Oh yeah.
I like that they do have some of the stuff you can use for the slant back as the adapter or whatever, as opposed to like some of the videos I've seen where people are trying to cut metal and fit it and JB weld that shit. I'm just like,
yeah.
Looks like junk, dude.
Yeah. And there's gaps and stuff, and I've got, like I said, I've got adapters on mine, but my adapters are take for M4 stocks. I mean, I could put a regular stock in either one of mine and not have to worry about it.
That was one of the possibilities I liked about that Carolina Shooting Supply or Carolina Shooting Sports. I don't remember which it is.
Supply. Yeah.
They make all that good shit for the Vepper and the Sega.
And I think that he makes the CS specs, Carolina Shooting, like they're connected, but I don't know if it's like an offshoot.
They're not the
same. They're connected, but they're not. That's where I get
Florida.
my. Yeah.
Yeah, CSS spec or whatever it is. He's in Florida.
Yep.
And he makes those 308s, but he doesn't make 54Rs yet.
No.
Yet.
I'm gonna get some of those. I'm gonna get some shorter ones because I got a bunch of 20 rounders, but those things are huge. If I'm shooting prone or something like that, I need to get some shorter ones. I realized that last time I was out the range.
I lost my little AK mag.
You lost your what?
I had this like little Arsenal KVAR like a 5-round AK mag, and I lost it. I can't find that shit.
They're good in certain circumstances. Like, my gun was doubling up, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to put a big old 20-round 308 mag and have that trigger tripping because I put a Red Star in it, and I didn't have it set right. So you have little mags is good. Good for stuff like that.
Like you said, like for benching.
Yep.
Do you think that you will get a Geisley for your Vepper?
Here's the deal. I have the Red Star in my Vepper. That trigger is nicer than the guys that I have in my AR sitting next to me. And I got the SSAE. But there's set screws. I had to cut up the original safety on that thing. And yeah. I had to hack the safety up to get it in. I'm not going to risk. Like I said, I have all my guns to where if I need to take them out, let's just say, crazy shit happens, zombie apocalypse right now. I like to have my guns ready. And that trigger just does not give me that confidence. So if it's as crisp and as light as they say it is, I'm going to buy one. Whether I'm going to stick it in.
They're going to have two, right? They're going to have like the base model, which will still be awesome, and then they had the other one.
Yeah,
and
well, it depends.
Most of the videos that I saw were of the nicer one. I don't think I saw too many videos of the one that is going to be coming out that's more regular. I'm guaranteed it's going to be better than the Tapco and all that. But
yeah, oh yeah, it's just finishing. That's what they have, the finishing. It comes down to the finishing on it. That's the only difference. If you watch 8541 Tactical or something, I forgot what the channel's name is. Yeah, they just did that, and he basically said, yeah, it's going to have nicer finish on it. So, I mean, if it's nice enough, I like a 2-stage trigger with something that's scoped. or with something that I'm going to push out a little bit, I tend to like that, and that's why I like that Red Star, because I have it set up in a 2-stage instead of a single stage, and I know exactly where it's going to break.
Right.
And if that thing is an attack driver, it's a very accurate for what it is. It's more than enough accurate, but all that kind of stuff helps. Even if you're a perfect shooter, you start throwing in, trigger and stuff like that. That's going to only help you out.
Well, you're tightening up your variables,
Yep. So, and that's why I can get it, 2-inch groups, not trying too hard with that gun. It was because of that trigger, I feel.
Well, I could definitely see that being part of it for sure. For sure.
With the right ammo. Like I said in the beginning, I was putting all sorts of shit through it, and it was wide variances depending on what I was shooting. It doesn't like it too light, doesn't like it too heavy.
So
well, that's the thing about those Vepers is those are heavy barrels, right? Target barrels.
It's a little bit heavier now. I had another Vepr. I had a Vepr Super that was in 5.56, and that
the hunting
barrel,
version or whatever. Yeah.
yes, and that barrel was heavy as shit. That was a heavy barrel. Now here's the deal with the Vepr 54s. They made a heavy barrel, and I think it was long. It was longer than the 23 inches. And
they made a 27 once.
The 27, that had the heavy barrel on it. That barrel on that gun, if you could get your hands on that, that is one that you worth cutting down, getting it recrowned and all that, because that barrel is thick. It's like the Supers.